He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Tuesday morning, 6:04. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. I have a couple of people coming in today, lined up. I'll let you know when I get here. The government shutdown. We've been in it now for day 4. I didn't even mention it yesterday. It's a partial shutdown, but they're all partial shutdowns. It's in its 4th day. House Speaker Mike Johnson, he's going to hold a chamber-wide procedural vote on the Senate's funding compromise. Of course, the funding was out there. The Senate made changes to it, and House has got to approve it. Of course, there's problems with that because there's representatives that said they're not going to improve it, but unless they put the Save America Act in. That's the act that would require everybody that votes to have an ID. Doesn't seem like a big thing. It is to Democrats. They don't want to have IDs. And it's Paulina Luna, Republican, no relation to Bruce, Republican out of Florida. She said she'll vote against it, and he said, "Well, big deal. It's just one. It's so close. It won't make a difference." And there's she had somebody, and it's Representative Anna Lena Luma. She had another Tim Beckett or Burchett. I'm sorry, Tim Burchett, Republican out of Florida, also signaled that he would be standing up with Luna, not approve of it unless the Save America Act was in, which would throw the whole thing out. Because Chuck Schumer said if it comes back to the Senate, it's dead on arrival. So got a long, strong personality standing up, and they have issues that they say we're not moving. Of course, if nobody moves, nothing passes, obviously. And they're all looking for who's going to blink first. Johnson thinks he might have support now. That's why he's doing the procedural thing to make sure he's got in that Luna has softened on her viewpoint. She says, as of right now, the current agreement that we have, as well as discussions, we will both be a yes on the rule. Meaning him, her, and Tim Burchett. There's something called a standing filibuster that would effectively allow Senator Thune to put a voter ID on the floor in the Senate. We are hearing that is going well, and he is considering that. So we're very happy about that. So Senate Majority Leader John Thune said that he can get it in a different way. Let's let this thing go. And to keep the government open so that the economy continues to churn along, and 42 days that we had a shutdown last time, the longest in history. It does put a damper on things. It does slow things down, and of course, the Democrats want to slow things down. They want to do chaos, but they don't want to get blamed for it. And I think that's why the last time it ended is because it looked like the Democrats were getting called for being the ones that stood in the way of success on that, or opening up, which is unusual. Usually it's just Republicans that get blamed, but they did. So Chuck Schumer and staff, they did back down and allowed the government to reopen, just to close it again now. Of course, just opening it again, or if this thing does pass, it doesn't mean it's completely done. The Senate compromise would fully fund the departments of war, departments of health and human services, transportation, housing and urban development, education, and labor. through the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. It'll fund them all through September 30th. So they keep pushing this thing forward a little bit. Of course, that leaves them the opportunity to close government down again if I don't get everything I want. Of course, the Democrats are not getting everything they want right now, so they're not happy about it. Now, the Department of Homeland and Security, which is the ICE included, and Border Patrol and Customs, and the big enemy of the left right now. Left hates securing the border. They hate ICE. They love illegal aliens, including the ones that rob, rape, murder, and steal. She said that it would only fund that at current levels for 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. So this won't end anything. I mean, this 2 weeks is in order to give Democrats and Republicans time to negotiate a bill that would be more significantly rein in Trump's immigration crackdown. They want to rein in Trump's immigration crackdown, even though he hasn't reached the levels of Obama or anything. And we definitely have a big need with the border being wide open for 4 years under Mayorkas and Biden, where Mayorkas every day said, the border's secure. How can that guy look in the mirror? The border's secure. And Biden screaming that we need, reforms to the Senate. We need a comprehensive border reform. We didn't. It was all a lie, which has been proven time and time again. I mean, the border's secure. All we needed was Biden out of the way, obviously. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Russ.
Well, good morning, sir. How are you, Dean?
I'm doing well. I have a question about this.
Okay.
Democrats are working hard to stop Trump from enforcing immigration law.
Correct.
And yet the public overwhelmingly wants the immigration laws enforced.
Yes.
Does this work for them?
It does. It does. And it doesn't make there's no logic involved in it. But
their base, which is maybe 28%, 25% of the population, probably less, does not want the immigration laws enforced.
Agreed.
But most of the rest of the country does.
Agreed.
So it's a problem for them.
Well, yes and no. I mean, they see that more and more people are becoming sympathetic towards the illegal immigrants that are here working, the ones that have been here for 20 years, the ones that have paid taxes, done jobs. Right. But the way that the press is handling everything is that the deportations are indiscriminate of the wanton criminals, murderers, and others. Pardon me?
That's the narrative the old media is trying to build.
Correct.
You can find the other narrative lots of places.
Correct.
And I don't think the old media controls the narrative as much as they thought they could. They did for a long time. Now they don't.
I think also correct. But they control enough of it to create sympathy, even amongst those that don't agree with it. And that's causing some concerns.
I think you're right. You're exactly correct. I mean, because, and this is a technique that's really been used for at least 75 years.
See, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Dean. I thought we were going to have a real argument this time.
Yeah, well, it's hard because both try to think logically.
Yeah.
And so if you have facts, somebody once said, you can have your opinion, but you can't have your own facts.
Correct.
But of course, there's a lot of disagreement about what are facts. But what I see the arguments against Trump's efforts, it's almost all emoting. It's emotion. It's not about facts. It's about emoting. And there's a certain segment of the population which will be swayed for a while anyway with emotion.
Right.
But we've seen that. That's been how can I put that? It's a standard political construct for at least 75 years. as the mass media became so important, and so you could start. I'm the earliest I know of for real clear observation. You might go back to the Spanish-American War, but I would say the ban on switchblades from the 1950s. There were almost no facts backing that up. It was pure emotion.
Yep.
And yet it passed. I mean, laws got passed all over the place, and even federal laws banning the interstate transport or sale of switchblades, even though they're just a pocket knife.
There's a potential bright spot, though, in this ongoing argument with the illegals. Now, and there have been illegals that are not convicts that have been deported. That's been some, and Tom Holm has promised that when he has to go get them because the states release known criminals and then they harbor in a house with a bunch of other illegals that may or may not be involved in criminal activity, they're all going.
Others.
They're all going.
Right.
Yeah. But what I read an article this morning from let's see, the name of it was Morning Glory. Democrats have just handed Trump a chance to fix immigration. And since if you stand back and look at the narrative and say, well, what are the sane people concerned about? Sane people concerned about the hardworking immigrant that actually contributes to the community, and they may have been here for decades, and they've proven themselves to be within the confines of the law, contributing to community and all that kind of stuff, and the dreamers and all that kind of thing. The dreamers that haven't broke the law, the dreamers that have been doing the right thing. So it gives Trump an opportunity. Now, whether he does this or not, I don't know. Is to come up with a plan that will spell it out, that these people will not be labeled for deportation while we go get out all the hardened criminals, which really it's been spelled out in his desires, in his campaign promises. Hasn't been spelled out in legislation that's where he's working or some kind of funding policy.
I've looked at some numbers because Trump's policy has been in place for about a year now.
Yeah.
So I looked at under, let's see, Obama. I don't think I had the numbers for Biden, but maybe I did. And you look at how many American citizens were caught up in the network and were like detained or put in a detention, and then it was found out later they were citizens. Well, under Obama, it was twice the percentage as it is under Trump, and it's very small numbers in any case.
Yeah.
We're talking, tenths of a percent. I mean, even under the Obama era, it was less than 1%. And under the Trump area, it's less than half of that. So this is taking extreme cases, and that's the technique, and finding extreme sympathetic cases and then trying to imply that that's the majority of cases. It's just not true.
I've only heard of 2 under Trump, and both of them were citizens that refused to identify themselves because they wanted it to happen.
Well, sure. I mean, because they want to create an impression that President Trump and ICE are Nazis. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. But it's like this 5-year-old or 6-year-old in Minneapolis whose father abandoned him, because he didn't want to be captured. And then the ICE agents took him to a McDonald's and fed him and then found some place for him to stay because he was abandoned in freezing weather in Minneapolis. It's not like they could just leave him there in the middle of a city in freezing weather. So they did the right thing. And then the old media, twisted that around to somehow they were treating him badly.
Of course. And those gamemanship things are being more and more identified, but it has a lasting image on their audience that is not going to look at the retraction.
Looking at that relatively small percentage of people who react are primed to react just emotionally, and what do they call it? Let's see, suicidal empathy.
I don't want to get that. I'll just
It's when you act against your own interest, the interest of your country, the interest of
Yeah.
people around you, because empathy says you can't protect yourself or follow the laws. Oh, the cute grizzly bear, it will never hurt you. It must.
Well, we've had a few people killed because of that.
Yeah, we have. Exactly.
Getting back to these dreamers and stuff, there was this article, which is an opinion piece, laid something out that said that if they would flip the message script and demand that Congress, in its appropriation bill, regularize all dreamers, illegal immigrants brought to the country as minors, as well as other discrete categories of illegal immigrants, such of those who can present a work record and tax returns for 10 years with no arrest, all illegal immigrants over the age of 50 who do not have arrest records, immunity from deportation by categories based on common sense, and give them something like a blue card, what they call blue card status. It could be renewed in 5 years.
I think that's a path to citizenship, and I think a lot of Trump's base would be opposed to that because
it doesn't say citizenship. It says it would give them a blue card status of some kind that would allow them to be here as long as they remain criminal free, as long as they remain productive as citizens. That's it.
I mean, it's an opinion piece.
Yeah.
Is it the right strategy? Is it correct?
I think it
maybe.
I think
maybe
it has.
not.
I think it has merit because we've got to an opinion is everything, and image is everything, and right now, the Democrats are starting to get some sympathy on this, hardworking immigration guy. Just take it off the table because the amount of people that this would qualify for is actually the people that we should have as citizens.
Well, I'm not sure you can. You can always find the rare exception and make that into a pity party case. And when this is taken off the table, then they'll move to others. Well, what about those under 45? They're over 45.
Well, correct.
What about
correct?
40?
That could always happen.
Strategy that has been used for decades.
That could always happen, but you can't delay your whole movement to do that. But I think this would appease those that are a little squishy on it. At the same time, not do any harm to our immigration policy and get things back going like they should.
I just don't. I don't know that this is a losing issue for President Trump.
I think it is.
I've seen polls the opposite way.
Well, I think overall polls, yes, but I think he would do this. This would take some of the wind out of the sails of the organized crime that's protesting and getting in the face. And
mentality.
Pardon me?
They're going to stop opposing Trump. They'll just say, look what we got. Now let's get more.
That's possible. But I think this is harmful. It doesn't include anybody that Biden brought in.
Right. There may be a way to craft some sort of thing that would work. I have my doubts because we're in
But in a situation where you have two sides and no one's going to compromise, no one's going to do anything, then what we're going to get is more shutdowns. That's it. And that includes the Republicans too, where Luna, and I agree with Luna, that we need a SAFE Act. We need a SAFE Act on voting. But to throw that in there right now and say, we're dug in, we're never going to move unless you do this, and we're never going to agree with what the Democrats are dug in on, where are we?
So I guess the question on that comes down to who gets blamed.
Well, in the long run, yeah, in the long run.
It does hurt the country.
And at some point, you get a lot of people jump up and say, throw them all out. Let's start over.
Yeah.
And
I give a lot of credit to Trump and Speaker Johnson.
Sure.
And I think they will probably get the best they can out of this. But I think
I agree.
that what I see is that a whole lot of people are seeing the democratic emotional strategy for what it is.
Well, and don't forget John Thune. He's been doing a real
Yeah,
awesome job there as a Senate Majority Leader.
yeah. He's been doing pretty good. I mean, the majorities are so slim, especially in the House.
No,
I mean, I've been incredulous that Johnson and Trump have been able to do as well as they have. They pulled off near miraculous feats.
they have been, and it needs to keep going. And this rioting thing seems to not be going away. It seems to be getting more and more attention and concern.
Yeah,
And
they're the typical, trying to build that narrative.
and we've got more and more Democrats jumping in and talking stupid about supporting these things. And well, we got this politician now in California, talking about killing Trump and stuff. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yes, and I'm very it's unclear to me if that hurts us or helps us. It hurts the country, but I think people see that,
Yeah.
and they see Democrats going absolutely bonkers and say, "No, I don't want more of that."
Well, I agree. It does, but we got other people who are getting weary that are getting.
Sure. So this is not something that I think either you or I have enough of a actual handle on to know which way to jump.
No, but we do as much looking as anybody, and
Yep.
we can see things like in West Virginia where they just had a very successful 2 weeks of raids that netted 650 criminals. And they didn't have to swoop in and get a bunch of bystanders and stuff to go along with it because the
And
local sheriffs got involved.
We didn't see the Minneapolis type anarchy
Correct.
in the streets, which promoted by the local authorities.
It's exactly right. It was from the governor down. And in West Virginia, you got none of it. In fact, I know an ICE agent that was involved in the West Virginia thing.
And of course, a lot of backdrop that we shouldn't ignore
Yeah.
is this enormous fraud that is being investigated in Minneapolis, and how much of this is a way, a distraction to try to prevent the Trump administration from effectively investigating the tens of billions
Correct.
of dollars of fraud.
Correct. But we got to get the fraud back at the headlines. And it's not. It's not at the headline.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, this is deliberate. It's a way to the whole, in my opinion, the whole leftist, mostly Democratic Party machine in Minnesota and Minneapolis has benefited from this enormous fraud for so long that the entire machine is shaken in its boots. We cannot allow this to be investigated. We're all the whole machine will die for lack of funding if it gets investigated and the fraud stopped.
Yeah. Hey, I got to take a break, buddy. I got someone coming in the building. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the call. We'll be right back.
Temperature is warmer than average for this time of year, and the next 2 days more so. 84 and sunny today, 58 and clear tonight, 87 with partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, northeast winds at 10 to 20 tomorrow, 64 tomorrow night.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
There's a man in D.C. He's been 6'3". He's fighting for you.
Yeah, 5. You, Russ, Mark with you, and Samantha joined me. Good morning, man.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Is it cold
Yes.
out? Oh, I guess it feels like I thought I had it open. You're in now, anyway. And you're in to support a fundraiser?
Yes, I am here to talk about one of our biggest fundraisers that we hold at our school
What is that?
for our FFA year. So this is going to be our annual barbecue. That will be this Friday from 5 to 7.
This coming Friday.
Yes.
So we only have a few days.
Only a few
We got to
days.
get tickets, Samantha.
Yes.
And which school? What school?
So this is Yuma.
Yuma High?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I knew that's where you were. I didn't know if you were still there.
Yes, I'm
But
still there.
you're still at Yuma High.
Yeah.
All right. Yuma High, and it's annual barbecue with FFA. Now, is it like a drive-through or is it a step down?
So ours is a drive-through.
Okay.
And our drive-through is from 5 to 7 p.m.
And it's 5 to 7 p.m. to pick up.
Yes.
Now you can buy tickets there.
No.
No,
Our last
you
day.
got to buy tickets now.
Yeah, our last day to buy tickets is Wednesday.
Wednesday,
So tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
So we got to get them going.
Yes.
How much are the tickets?
So the tickets are $15 each, and
Okay.
the tickets will cover a plate of shredded beef, beans, rice, a tortilla, and a water.
Which is well worth it. And so you need to get a hold of people that want to buy tickets.
Yes.
How if somebody wants to buy a ticket, how do they do that?
So you can reach my advisor at M Marconato, so MMARCONATO at yumaunion.org, or call my number at 928-247-7213.
And you'll find a way to get them
Yes.
tickets or whatever. Your dad
Yes.
helps.
Yes, he does.
He does. He helps a lot.
Yeah.
He does that. Why do you like the FFA?
I love the FFA because I've learned a lot of different things. I've learned a lot with leadership experience. So I've learned how to do a job interview. I've learned how to give a prepared public speech.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
You're a senior this year, and you came in on the radio again,
Yes.
which you've done before.
Yes.
And
third time,
volunteered.
I think.
You're about as shy as your dad.
No, not really.
He's not shy. He's not shy at all. And you a lot of when we think of the FFA, we think of raising animals because that's
Mhm.
very visible.
Yes.
And that's a big part.
Well, there's a lot more to it, but yes, it's a big part of being just an ag kid in general.
Yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of skill set learned in raising animals, a lot of
Yes.
discipline. Like the animals have to be fed every day, not just when you feel like
Yeah,
it.
I like waking up every day to feed them, or just like going out there and making sure that their walks and they get their exercise,
Yeah.
or just making sure that you're taking care of them and spending time with them.
Well, and when you put them on display,
Yes.
they have to be under control
Groomed and ready, yes.
ready, and you can't do that on the last day.
No.
That's a work that shows itself.
Yes.
uh,
Something
on
that
day.
shows throughout like the whole time you've had the animal, not
Right.
just the day of.
Right. And do you look forward to that?
Yes, it's one of like my favorite things throughout the year is just
It's
being
the
able to go
fair.
to the fair and just show my animals and show like what I've been working on all year.
Yeah. And it's kind of fun to walk through there and see all the families. It is families, a lot of families,
Yes.
and kids raising her, and those last minute groomings and getting that all done. But a lot of conversation, a lot of fun,
Yeah, it's so much fun.
a lot of nerves.
Just a little bit.
And all that. But you said leadership's involved.
Yes.
How's that manifest?
So I've learned how to not only work with a team, but lead a team. So I've been president before, but now I've taken a step back and I'm our student advisor. So
Uh-huh.
I can almost like add my input for the president to then use to help lead our team to whatever the tasks we may be completing. So like currently we're planning something. So me and the president are working together to talk about different things and to get our plans through the school board.
Okay. Perfect. Now I need tickets, but I don't have my wallet with me today.
Okay.
How do I do that? I can get a hold of Bruce.
Yeah, you can definitely talk to my dad.
Talk to Dad. See, my phone is my wallet, but today I just have the phone. I walked out without the wallet part.
We take cash or check.
Cash or check?
Yes.
No cards.
No cards.
That's fine. cash works for me.
Okay.
I'll do that. It's $15 a plate.
Yes.
It's a drive-through at Yuma High, which is
Yes.
well organized. There's
Yes.
one way in, one way
We
out.
have our drive-through right through our bus lane. So you drive through on one side of the bus lane, you'll pick up your food, you'll pick up your water, and then you'll drive right through the other gate.
And go on a picnic with a date.
I mean, you
Whatever
definitely
you
can.
want to do.
Yeah, you can take it home, eat it, take it out, go sit somewhere and eat it.
Yeah. Go to the park.
Yeah.
Whatever. The West Wetlands, doesn't matter. You can go anywhere you want. 5 to 7, $15 each. And this is your phone number to get a hold of, or is this Bruce?
This is my dad's phone number.
Your dad's phone number. I'll give
Yes.
that out to everybody then. 928-247 7213. And he'll make arrangements. Heck, he'll drive across town to drop off tickets. He's a good
Yes.
he's a good help. Yeah, he does all that. You're well supported. I think it takes parents, though, families. Not every kid has as much, but there's a lot of mentorship too.
I think definitely my dad has been a big help when like growing up, just being there for me and supporting me.
Sure. Now you say that out loud, it's recorded and you can't deny it. It's going to stay with you.
So my dad wants me to do a quick shout out to Edward.
Edward. Well, I don't even know if Edward's listening today. He probably is. He probably is. Yeah. And Edward has supported you in the past.
Yes,
he has.
He's bought tickets for me and just
Yeah.
like helped me with fundraisers and different things.
And of course, that's our fact checker in Virginia. Right there by Washington D.C. Lives by the Pentagon, and he supported you and helped, which is awesome.
Yes.
And that generosity, we see it a lot in our community. We see it all over where people reach out.
Yeah.
And we're a very
For
generous
this kind of
place.
fundraiser, because tickets are like being sold and we don't have a lot of time to get more
No,
tickets
you
sold.
don't.
Any kind of generosity helps, like
Yeah.
just simple donations or just reaching out and just
We're gonna keep mentioning. I'll mention it again tomorrow since it is the last day. I'm sure Bruce will call in and mention it. But you took the time to drive in here, wait outside in the cold while I was finishing
we
up a
weren't
phone
waiting out
call.
there that long.
I left you hanging, and I do appreciate it. So you've got school today,
Yes, I do.
and what do you do? What do you do when you're all done with school? What's that look like?
So today, I have to go take a scholarship and then pretty much just go home and like do homework and study.
What's it look like next year?
Next year, I plan on attending the University of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yes.
Oh,
Just-
you couldn't get a place in the regular country, regular part of the country. You have to go to Oklahoma.
I really like Oklahoma.
Nothing wrong with Oklahoma. I'm just giving you a hard time. And what made you choose that?
So I visited the campus my sophomore year of high
Okay.
school, and I fell in love with the campus and
Really?
their computer engineering program
Okay.
because I love their engineering department and just like how everything's set up.
And that to you look like the future you want to have is computer
Yes.
engineering. It's not when it's going away. It's escalating.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like nursing. There's going to be jobs there,
Definitely, yes.
for sure. That's going to be. And so you have a dream job afterwards. You're going to go work for Elon Musk or something. What?
I don't really know what that looks like yet, but
Okay.
I'm just excited to see what the future holds.
All right. And is there something specific in computer engineering you want to do?
I like programming, so I like doing like the behind the scenes of different things.
Okay.
So like we've gone to like different ag related things where like we see drones and stuff and how they are flown in the
Oh
fields.
my!
And that's really interesting to me.
They've
So,
gone on the battlefield and on the farm fields.
Yes.
Whoa, they've been all over the
So-
place. Yeah, there's a lot that goes behind that. Don't really understand it all, but it's amazing how much they've excelled
yes,
in
with just the
capability in the last
technology.
couple of years.
Yeah.
So you got to get smart fast to catch up with all that.
I mean, that's what we go to school for.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll call Bruce, and we'll buy some tickets.
Okay, thank you so
And we'll
much.
get that. Thank you, and I guarantee you, there's people listening. They're going to give you a call.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it, guarantee your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
This is is as real as it gets. Get up, get kids up, feed the dog, feed the kids, out the door, work, pick up kids, dinner, bath, bed, repeat. You strive all day to make life better for them. So why not make life better for you? Get strive-free checking at Avner Financial. No frills, no fuss, no monthly fee. Open a strive-free checking today at avnerfinancial.org. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me.
And Bryce to give you Russ Clark with you. 6:40 on a Tuesday. Phone lines open 928-344-5258. Yeah, and give Bruce a call. Get some of those tickets for that. I picked up 4 of them that will help out with that. So let me take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ. How are we doing?
Doing well, Carl. Good morning.
You know, being an American citizen, the most important thing you can have is your identification card. And people are trying to tell me that they get to come into this country, they don't need an ID card, they can work, they can vote, but they don't have that little piece of paper in their pocket that says whose they is.
You know, I think most of them all do, but there's this big push on the left to make voting identification free. Now, there's nothing else that you can do identification free, to my knowledge, as far as, substantial, like opening a bank account or getting a loan or buying a house, buying a car, going into Democrat meetings. You need an ID card, to go to conventions and stuff. Well, it's just since everybody has them. But they're trying to push this so that they can clutter the voting roll is what they want to do. Is just clutter that thing up, and which is ridiculous. But it's what we're facing right now. It's what we're facing, and they're going to fight it in Congress. They're going to fight it to make it mandatory. Now, it's mandatory in this state, but not every state is. Some states you can go in without it. It's just chaos. It's chaos.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in California, they are fighting it. But if you get a ticket in California and don't pay it, it could be 10, 15 years later. If you go to apply to do anything in California, you're going to have to answer to that ticket.
Right.
And that is the same way anybody that comes to this country illegally, and I don't care if they've been here 2 years, 5 years, 20 years. After the 20 years, I think you have statute of limitations on a lot of this stuff. So what is that number going to be?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. I think the Save America Act that is a bill that is going that is being talked about in legislation just put it once for all there. It's federally required that if you vote, if you want the feds to be able to count your vote, it's got to have an ID, and it just makes so much sense. I can't believe it's a stupid fight, Carl.
It is a stupid. If you want to cash a check, you need to show an ID.
Everything you do in life,
And so it goes back. Why do you not want people to show their ID to vote? It's because they want to cheat.
But they say it's racist to ask for an ID because black people don't know how to get a ID card, and it's so insulting. It's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. It's just, but it's their argument. That's the argument. Yeah.
Those are the same people that live at the McElhaney Cattle Company Rose Garden. They think they live in the Rose Garden, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's all BS.
Yeah, but they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight in Congress. The Chuck Schumers and all. They're gonna fight it. Yeah, we don't need IDs. We're mind readers. We just trust everybody. Like in Minnesota, they had that law where a neighbor can bring in 8 friends and let them vote without ID.
Are those the ones that lock their door at night when they go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so as long as they're messing with my money and my vote, that's all right, but they don't want us to mess with them.
Yeah, we need to clean this up and clean it up now. But doing it right now probably isn't going to happen. And I know that these representatives from Florida want to hold up the funding of the government until we get an agreement on SAVE, and that's not going to happen. Believe me, the Democrats are going to stand steadfast on it, and we'll just be shutting the government down, talking to each other as to why it's happening and whose fault it is. And I don't know if that's the right way.
What President Trump, what they need to do is follow the money on all the protesters and the guys handing out the signs in the water. Find out where that money's coming from, and it's probably not much check. It's more like a credit card.
Well, somehow the entire nation is not as outraged as they should be about the fraud and the stupid that's going on.
Yeah.
They seem to look the other way. Look at all of Hollywood. All they can talk about, with all these award shows where they award each other stuff, is ICE out. Get rid of ICE, get rid of authority, no police. And they're not talking about the fraud. They're not talking about how they're ripping off the American taxpayers.
Not a bit. Those are the same ones that were saying let the boys in the girls' bathroom. Is that the same people?
Same group. Same group. But they live in a bubble. They live in a fantasy. They don't live in the real world. They're very rich. They're very successful. These movies make millions, billions of dollars, and they live a little different than the rest of us. And having money doesn't force you to live different. I know people with money that live very grounded. But somehow this Hollywood scene is a very weird deal.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think Trump's going to pop the bubble.
I don't know. I think they're pretty entrenched. They live in a pretty strong bubble. But they need to stay there and not step outside of it. They keep trying to tell the rest of us on how to live, and they have no idea what it's like to live outside that bubble anymore. They don't know. They don't drive their own cars. They don't shop for their own groceries. They don't know.
That to me would be a crazy way to live, but I guess people do.
Yeah.
I guess but they're living on our dime.
Yeah.
That's the bad part. Anyway, Russ, you have a very good day.
You too, my friend.
One more thing. Yeah. I'm going to have to go back to David Law and put him in a county supervisor.
Yeah.
If you contacted anybody, I can't find anybody who can come talk to us and tell us why they took it away from him.
Why they took what away? Oh, him? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to belabor the point. It doesn't make that much big a deal to me. It was announced. We know it. We know what they're doing.
Well,
and David Lawler's got a good workaround. So big deal. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, the problem is we want to have a secure vote.
Yeah.
And so when we put people to make sure we have a secure vote, and then they take a lot of that authority away from David, all I wanted to do is say why. To me, it is a big deal.
They took it on their own shoulders, man.
Yeah.
So they're the ones responsible. The five county
last time?
The 5 supervisors.
How did they do last time?
They did terrible.
That's right.
And they blamed it on everybody but themselves. But right now they can't do that. They took it away from David and they put their necks out to say that everything's going to run well with us running it now.
Yeah.
We're going to take it. Well, I think they made a mistake, but that's just an opinion.
Well, that's my opinion.
I know.
But we should try and correct their mistakes, and that's what we, the people, try to do is correct the mistake. And they broke the pencil.
Well, there's more than one way to go. They we also elected them. We did elect them, and they said, look, we want it on our shoulders, not David's. It's on our shoulders, and it's their response, and it's their prerogative. They're in control of that. So
yeah, but it goes back to who's really in control. We, the people, are in control.
Yep.
And so now, when it comes back to voting this time, the Republicans got to make really sure what the hell they're doing, because they're going to lose the House. So
correct. But keep in mind, we voted them in too, and we're in control of them. Just hold their feet to the fire. Quit, quit complaining that they took away responsibility from David. Say, okay, you got the responsibility. What are you doing? How are you going to insure? I mean, ask him that question. That's the more important one.
Well, maybe you can get one of them to come on your, or I'll call Jonathan again and see if he'll answer that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
I hope so.
Well, I'm sure he will. One. I mean, I don't think he lives in a vacuum. I think he pays attention.
Yeah, hey, Jonathan does a lot of good.
It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with every decision he makes. But I don't know all the rationale behind it. He has more information than I do.
He has more than I do. All I ask is why.
That's right. But know that he took it on his shoulders and say, it's my job now. It's mine to watch it. So ask him if he's watching it.
Well, I hope he is.
Yeah.
I kind of look how hard we had to fight to get the boys out of the girls' bathroom. I
know Jonathan Lyons well enough to know that he agrees with that.
Oh no, he agrees with that 100%.
Sure, he does.
As we, the people, how hard we have to fight for things.
And I guarantee he's concerned about voter security.
Oh yeah,
I know he is. So, and he's taken this on himself. And I mean, he's one of 5. He's not alone.
Yep.
One of 5 that took it on himself. So, let's just say it's on your shoulders, bub. What are you doing for me?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And
wasn't good last time.
No, it wasn't. It was another.
Try it again.
It was an embarrassment. Again, it was an embarrassment.
Well, let's do it again.
Yeah, and I'm glad.
Let's foot off and to win the race.
And the recorder that lost the race to David was in charge of the whole thing at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. And he lost that job.
Yep.
As he should have. And I know afterwards he passed the buck. He was pointing to the supervisors, didn't give me what I wanted. Well, we need somebody in there that takes charge. Now, David would not point that finger and say, "You didn't give me what you wanted." He'd be screaming, "You didn't get me what I wanted" 3 months before the election. And he'd have been on air. He wouldn't wait until after the election failed and then say it.
Well,
he'd be screaming it from the rooftops. And that's, and of course, my empathy for the Republicans, the supervisors that have to endure that, because David will be screaming from the rooftop. But it holds their feet to the fire too, and I think that's fine. It's all good, and they're all good with it.
Yeah.
They'll be fine with it. They did what they thought they had to do. Just make sure that they perform. That's okay.
Yeah,
and David's okay. David's okay.
Don't
with
do it again. I mean, they messed it up once, today.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell how engaged and how involved they are. But they should be. They took it on themselves.
Yeah. And when it's all done, Russ, we still live in a beautiful city.
We do. All right, buddy.
And we have a lot of great people around us. We just like to have little arguments between us.
I appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. I'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
The most beautiful time of year is upon us. Tax season. And Tax Slayer is here to help you file with 100% accuracy for your maximum refund. Guaranteed. Tax Slayer even has support from real U.S.-based humans if you have any questions along the way. File your federal return by February 8th for $22.99, and I'll help you get the refund you deserve. Take it from me, a talking calculator speaking to you through the speakers of wherever you are. Tax Slayer, file fearlessly.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK. Visit lifelock.com. Terms do apply.
There's a man in D.C. He spent 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me.
Hey, I'm KBLU. Russ Clark with you. And in spite of the dogs screaming about it, not want me to do it, I brought a couple more people in, I figured it's Mike and Micah.
Yes, sir.
Or we can go with Tail Gunner and Hammer. Ham Bone. which you guys are bikers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, pull those mics close. Got to be like 6 inches away or whatever. But retired military.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate
And,
that.
and you work with the veterans now, and
Oh, yes, sir.
and do all that, which I like that about this community. We have a lot of that. We do, and it's it's uplifting a little bit, particularly since we live in weird times.
Yep.
Yeah,
Understatement.
man. Well, I read on it and report on it every day. It's just kind of amazing to me how upside down things are, and people scream upside down from the rooftops. That they want crazy things,
Right.
and somehow we bend to it, and we'll find our ways through. It's tough though. We'll get through it. We just need to stick to sense and sensibilities and not get swayed by socialist, more Marxist type attitudes. But here we got a Marxist running the New York City. You don't make any trips there anytime soon, are you?
Nope.
It's cold right now
It's too
anyway,
cold for
man.
me.
Man, it got really cold. But the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association is the group.
Yes, sir.
When did that start?
It started around 2002.
2002?
It's primarily made up of veterans that have either served in combat or not.
Okay.
And we primarily our motto is vets helping vets.
Uh-huh. And riding motorcycles is a passion too.
For some of us, a lot more than others.
That's the fun part.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially living out here. That's why I love this. You can ride a bike out here all year long.
Oh yeah. And I know some people say the heat and all that, but it doesn't.
No, you always ride.
It doesn't stop.
No, I do between 20 and 30,000 miles a year. I will
That's a commitment.
I do the Run for the Wall that goes from Ontario, California to DC. And this year I'm going to do another special ride that's going to go all the way across Canada that's dedicated to letting people know about PTSD.
But you've got to love motorcycles to do that much.
You have to be very dedicated.
I've ridden a lot of bikes, but I've never done a long trip like that, like a cross country trip.
Mhm.
That's a commitment because you're in the elements.
Yeah, you end up bringing a rain suit, and you just have to make sure that it's mind over matter because you can't mind because it won't matter. You're going to get wet.
I've known guys that have gone to the South Dakota biker rallies and stuff, and they take their motor home, but they put their leathers on the rear view mirror so get bugs on it. You know those people, they trailer their bikes.
Mhm.
That's not a real biker.
Yeah, but their leathers have bugs on.
Right.
So yeah.
It looks salty. Yeah.
Yeah, you can point those guys out.
Yep.
Yes, easily.
You still have a beer with them though.
Oh yeah.
But your organization really wants to promote and support veterans affairs and those kind of things. And you're doing the second annual Sergeant Abe Resnick, and Abraham, of course, was the Hyundai of Yuma
Yes, and Kia.
And what an amazing man.
He was.
What am
Especially to the veterans and to the Yuma community.
Yeah. And I know that they did the memorial service for him over at Hyundai. Man, you guys showed up in like, I don't know, 50, 100 bikes. I don't know. It was amazing. But I think Abe resonated with the veterans group huge.
Yes.
I mean, he was a Marine himself.
Yes.
And to his employees. That's one thing, like Angel, his manager now,
Yeah.
a lot of his ethos came from Abe. What he taught him, leadership and just how to run a dealership and lead people. It resonated. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I did a lot of work with him, in advertising and stuff like that. But it's not unusual for him to call me at 11 o'clock at night with this crazy idea.
That's awesome.
He was always ticking. He was always thinking, and he was always moving things forward.
Yep.
And a lot of it was charity stuff that he was
Right.
talking to me about. He wanted to help somebody. He wanted to work out. One time he told me he said, Russ, I know you got a lot of followers, and I know people will listen to you. So get on the air, and I want you to ask somebody for a free car because I got this lady that needs a car. And I know if you ask it, I know if you do that, it's going to happen. I said, well, okay, Abe, So I said that on the air, and in 10 minutes I had a free car.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
That's why I love Yuma.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it was a guy that worked at YPG. Had a lot of miles on it. He parked it because it had some front end deals, which I can fix that. That's no big deal. And some lady that went to his church that couldn't make the trip anymore. I did the work on it. He paid for the parts, and we got the car to the lady. It just amazed me. But he has that kind of deal. But he's not forgotten, and I know he lives in a lot of us, including Angel over there at Hyundai.
Yeah.
Hyundai of Yuma really picked that up. I got to take a break. You're going to hang on though. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU.
There's a man in D.C. He spent 6'3".
This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
Where is she? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the big question in Arizona, where the worry grows for Nancy Guthrie, believed abducted Saturday night. She's the mother of today's show host, Savannah Guthrie, who in a statement says they believe in prayer and goodness.
The Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nano, says it's what investigators found inside Nancy Guthrie's home that leads them to believe she was abducted, that she was sleeping at the time she was kidnapped and likely harmed.
Alicia Conian is on.
Sheriff Nano says Nancy Guthrie's medication, wallet, and phone were found inside the home here on the northeast part of Tucson. Sheriff Nano says the house is a crime scene.
If they pull the partial government shutdown, then they may be the last trying to approve a Senate funding compromise.
So here's where things stand right now. If Republicans can pass a procedural vote today, they can bring this package of 5 government spending bills to the House floor where it would be expected to pass even with some Democratic votes. Now, that would then end the shutdown today once it got to President Trump's desk.
Fox is at the Capitol. While that funding lasts through September for most of the government, it's only 2 weeks worth for Homeland Security. Democrats, including Congressman Jim McGovern, demand ICE be reformed, and I refuse to fund such a lawless, out-of-control agency. After all the anti-ICE demonstrations, they got angrier in Minneapolis following 2 deadly shootings, and now the head of Homeland Security says all agents there will wear body cameras. The House has delayed a vote to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress for not cooperating in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have agreed to sit for a closed-door deposition with the House Oversight Committee. Chairman James Comer says details on a potential agreement are still being worked out, and until then, contempt proceedings against the former first couple are still on the table. Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Russia's gone on the attack again in Ukraine, despite U.S. talks to stop the war. The overnight bombardment cut off electricity and heat for some. Ukraine's president says they're terrorizing people in the cold days of winter. America's listening to Fox News.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
From the Visual Information Desk, I'm Janina Guerrero. Local kids have a new place to look forward to pretty soon. The long-awaited East Mesa Community Park is under construction in Yuma. The park is located on Avenue 50 and 36th Street. Among the most attractive features are 3-acre lake, playground, sensory play space, and a splash pad. With more than 20 acres in its first phase, the park promises to become a key hub for recreation for locals in Yuma. Plus, more border support is coming to Yuma County thanks to a grant approved this morning by the Yuma County Board of Supervisors. The grant of over $1 million was awarded to the Yuma County Sheriff's Office by the Department of Public Safety. The money will be to enhance law enforcement capabilities related to drug trafficking, smuggling, illegal immigration, and other related crimes in Yuma County. The grant not only helps support our border, but also helps keep the community safe. Catch us on TV Sat on News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. for your latest local news, weather, and sports.
The most beautiful time of year is upon us. Tax. And Tax Slayer is here to help you file with 100% accuracy for your maximum refund. Guaranteed. Tax Slayer even has support from real U.S.-based humans if you have any questions along the way. File your federal return by February 8th, $22.99, and I'll help you get the refund you deserve. Take it from me, a talking calculator speaking to you through the speakers of wherever you are. Tax Slayer. File too.
There's a man in D.C. He's 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said. He'll make America great again. So get on a Trump train, ride proudly with him. We'll stand up for you and the red, white, and blue.
AM 560 KBL. You, Russ Clark, back with you, and I still got Mike and Micah. I knew it was close. And we're talking about the second annual Sergeant Abraham Razik poker run, February 7th. That's right around the corner. It's coming. And that's Hyundai of Yuma that is helping fund this, obviously, because he's part of Hyundai of Yuma.
Still is.
But yeah, I would say that's more correct. Absolutely, Hyundai and Kia. What can we expect on this? What's going to happen with the people who want to participate?
Well, if you have people that are riding motorcycles, they can come on over to the dealership. We're going to start our registration.
And that's a Hyundai dealership.
Yes,
and you got plenty of room out back.
Actually, it's going to be out front this year. Yeah,
okay.
They're really working with
They're
us.
going to clear the front lot and let you be the front.
They're clearing a lot of their front lot to let us be in there.
So you can't get many motorcycles in there today, so they're going to have to clear something.
It'd be very difficult to say the least. But our registration starts at 8.
Okay.
Opening ceremonies start at 9. Roughly about 10 o'clock, first bikes will be out. We've got about 115-mile route.
Wow.
That will be going out to Weldon, over to the VFW there, the VFW that's on 95. Then you'll take a nice little cruise down Araby into the 195 down to San Luis area to Eddie's. You can stop, have lunch there. It's a pretty cool place down there. Where they've taken a bunch of shipping containers and turned them in little restaurants. Nice area to go and sit and just relax. Come back up. You'll go to the VFW 1763. Go in there, and then we have something set up with the Yuma Territorial Prison. That's one of our stops, and people can actually go in there at a discounted rate if they're on the run to go check it out. And then our final stop is going to be over the American Legion Post 19 over on South Virginia Drive.
Wow.
If people want to come just join us there, they can.
Of course, this is a poker run. You get a poker card everywhere you go.
Yep.
And you're looking for high hand, low hand stuff. I don't know. Different prizes for all that kind of stuff. Now, to ride in there, single rider is $20.
Yes.
2 up, $30. What do you mean 2 up? 2 on a bike or?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a passenger on your bike, it's only $30.
Yeah. And each one gets a poker hand.
Yep.
Or no. Okay. Well, each person.
Yes.
Okay. And then the high hand pays $300, low hand $50. That's it. And then raffle prizes on top of that. Now, and a 50-50 drawing, it looks like.
Right. And we've also got a dunk tank. We've got a picture booth.
Oh, really?
We've got a great raffle. I have to think about how I say that because I put events together back in California. There you have to call it an opportunity drawing. But we have a grand prize that is 3 days, 2 nights at the South Point Casino and Hotel in Vegas.
I know that
It's a
hotel. It's
it's a
nice.
$700 package, includes drinks, food, and a show.
Yeah, that's a nice hotel.
It is.
That's where they do the bull rides and stuff too. I mean, they have horses and stuff. That's a
I honestly couldn't take. 'Cause
Oh.
I've been through there, but I really didn't spend a
no.
lot
I've,
of time.
I've been to some events over there and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Cool.
know. I knew the owner at one time. He his son was running race car actually. You know, he was working for Michael Waltrip and that group,
Okay.
and he got
Cool.
he was sponsored by his dad. But when I was with Napa Auto Parts, and the owner there was good friends with our division vice presidents and stuff, so we ended up staying there a lot and doing some conventions there out there. But I haven't been back in a while. You know, I just do radio and human now.
Well, come on out. And you can try to win a 3-day, 2-night stay.
Yeah. Now, I know this is a military organization and all that, but any biker.
Oh, anybody. Yes, this is open to anybody and everybody, including if people want to come over to the American Legion starting around 12:30, 1 o'clock. We've got a lot of stuff going on over there. We've got a band. We've got food trucks. It's just we're trying to raise money for Right Turn for Yuma veterans this year.
Okay.
And they are a great organization that will help get
American Legion. Tell me where that is.
it is 2575 South Virginia Drive.
South Virginia. Okay, the big one there.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone's familiar with that one.
Right.
Absolutely. So many veterans groups. I just want to make sure I got the right one. Oh, it's on here. No, Hyundai of Yuma's on here. Their address because of this. And so it doesn't matter if you don't ride a Harley. You can ride a Yamaha.
You can ride anything you want.
You can walk up if you need to.
Well, if it wasn't so long, I'd be on my electric bike. But
Like stretching it,
Yeah.
I got an EV bike. You know, you'd be impressed. But it's open to everybody, and of course, it's for a great cause, and that is the Right Turn for Yuma veterans. I don't know of the Right Turn for Yuma veterans. What do they do really?
They actually help veterans get back on their feet. They'll help them with housing, food. It's just all about trying to go that much further to help the veterans because a lot of them fall on hard times and there are places to go like Right Turn for Yuma veterans that will go out of their way to try to get them into housing, get them food, whatever they need.
Right. And it's sad that we need that kind of help.
It's unfortunate, yes.
Yeah. We spend a lot of money in the government and we make a lot of promises, but there isn't really the apparatus within the government to go out and reach out for these people. It takes these organizations to find these people that may have gotten a little off track and don't know where to go to get help.
Right.
And government help's available.
It is.
It's not easy to ask for sometimes, and it's not easy to fill out the applications and to get all the paperwork done and all that.
Well, not only that, but being a veteran, sometimes it's hard to check your ego and say, yes, I do need help.
Yeah. That's it. And that's so thankful we have so many of you guys around that can help steer people in that direction and help them with the process. Because the process can be frustrating.
It can be, but there's people to help.
I know so many people that can't get into the VA hospitals at times. And it just, paperwork's not right or the approvals aren't right. Once they get in, they're plumb happy with the service. It's crossing the threshold to get there. So if Right Turn for Yuma veterans can help in some of that and help some of the ones that have gotten off track, that's a great thing to be a part of. So we'll and this starts on February 7th. That must be a Saturday.
It is this Saturday.
It's this Saturday, February 7th. It's coming up on Saturday.
We do have a meet and greet Friday night at VFW, 7063 at 1800. We'll have a food truck there. So all the guys, a lot of the CBMA guys are coming from out of town. They'll come out over there and have a beer, have a drink to meet all of us and hang out.
You're expecting hundreds of bikes.
We're hoping for 200. Last year we had about 150 and hope for 200 plus. That's our goal. We're a 501.
I hope these restaurants are ready for you. You've warned them, right?
Oh yeah, no, everyone knows we're coming. Yeah,
they've upped their inventories a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I guess, and got ready for that. Well, great. I'll at least come out and see the ceremony.
That'd be fantastic. We appreciate that.
I don't know if I can find a bike soon enough, to join in on that, or if I have a wife that would say, "Go ahead."
Never know.
Well, I appreciate it, gentlemen. Thanks so much, and we'll mention it again.
Great. Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Make sure
We
get that.
appreciate you bringing us in.
Thanks, Russ. No problem. I'll be back. AM 560 KBLU.
Truckmates, Yuma's Fix Up Your Pickup Truck Store is Yuma's home for snug top shells and lids. Snug top, designed and manufactured to the highest standard. Industry-leading quality and trend-setting design to protect and complement your vehicle. That's Snug Top. Truckmates is also the home of Expert Spray and Bed Liners, spraying mil-spec protected coatings, committed to unwavering excellent and unparalleled customer service. Expert Liners, with available national warranty coverage and installed by Yuma's most experienced spray-on team at Truckmates. Truckmates is also the home for BDS suspensions, the highest quality aftermarket suspension lift kits, leveling kits, and accessories for 4x4 off-road trucks and Jeep enthusiasts. And don't forget 3M window tinting, the originators of window tinting with nationwide lifetime warranty at Truckmates. That's Expert Spray and Bed Liners, BDS suspensions, 3M window tinting, and Snug Top, all at Truckmates. 32nd Street, next to Lowe's.
What's up, Yuma, and hello, Russ Clark Show listeners. Johnny Porter here, and I just made the switch to Allo Fiber, and it's a game changer. Lightning fast speeds for streaming, working from home, and gaming. No buffering or slowed down speeds. It's time to ditch the glitch and switch to Allo Fiber.
There's a AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. It's Tuesday morning, 7:15. Phone lines are open. 928-344-5258. And thanks for the two gentlemen that came in from the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, going to help out with some fundraising for Right Turn for Yuma veterans. That'll be this Saturday. A poker run. Sounds like a good time. Don't know that I'll be able to join that, but I'll go out and wish them well. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
We're doing well, Clyde. Good morning.
Great. Hey, listening to Carl complaining about the supervisors taking away the job of the county recorder, and then listening to you talk about the past county recorder that was there before David. And, I think Rick Colwell did a hell of a great job for our county.
Okay.
And we just look at integrity. I don't know why the supervisors took it away from him or whatever it is. I know we'll have a good election. We're Yuma. We always do. We take our time, double count what we got to double count. We know we had a close race between David and Rick Caldwell this last go around. But I think there's a lot of good integrity in our election results. Yeah, crap happens, but it happens everywhere. But the percentage, I think, is very, 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 very minimal. But knowing one thing, I know that you guys went to go see the 2,000 donkeys in Vegas before the election was coming up and all that stuff. And, there was a challenge on Gary Snyder, and we know there was a challenge on it because it was brought on by a gentleman out of Phoenix and some local people here. But, the person that has to check for the person running for a office to verify their address, to verify where they're living, typically would be the Yuma County Recorder, correct?
I don't know that.
You were county supervisor, and you do know. Come on, Russ.
Well,
you know how the government works in our county. You were supervisor.
But when it comes to a
years.
challenge, all they can do is look at what's presented to them as far as investigating it. They're not an investigative party.
I'm going to assume that you're a man of integrity.
Correct.
And I'm not. I'm not saying that sarcastic, but I think that if you knew that somebody that was running for a district and you knew where they're really living and where they're not because you're a good friend of them, would you not say something? Hey, you need to change your address or you need to drop out of the, right? I think you would tell somebody if you knew them that well, correct?
I talked to Gary Snyder. Absolutely.
No. I'm asking you, if you were in that shoe of your integrity, you would have said, hey, buddy, you need to make a change.
My curiosity can't help me anyway. I'm going to talk to him. But did I tell him what to do? No, I asked him if it was legitimate and how he justifies it.
But you're just taking out of context what our conversation is on integrity.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is that David knew where Gary was living at, and Gary knows, and David knew where it was. And no correction. Finally, it took somebody else coming in and challenging it. And integrity is the biggest part of running an important office. I would think so, at least. At least I would like a man of integrity running our, because if you're saying you're going to go after, the equal holders, which I think is great. We need to. I mean, if you don't have the right to vote, you should not vote in this country, and you shouldn't be harvesting ballots or whatever, what have you not either. But you see it all the time. I mean, I saw it happening in front of the Civic Center. Hi, is this right? No, this is not where you vote. But here, this is one you got to. Come on, it's just there's reasons that things happen. I think, and maybe in hindsight, I'm not saying this is why the supervisors took it away from him, but I still think we're going to have a great election with David there or not. I really do. Yeah, there might be 20, 30 people that go around the system or whatever, but we're not like we're losing major races because someone's not doing their job correctly. I have a lot of integrity in our own Yuma County elections, whether it's going to be the supervisors overseeing it. I think Rick did a heck of a great job for us. It was a tight race, but he was a good man. He was a man of integrity as well. Higher integrity, I think, in some points.
I don't know anything different. I didn't know him that well, but I can tell you that
but I won't.
that last race was an embarrassment. We were the last one in the state to turn in our results, and it was late.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. And I'd rather be the last man turning it in without having any discrepancies and being the first man throwing it in there.
Then you and I have a difference of opinion. I would rather
integrity. Putting it together and sending it to you there and stamping it. You don't got to be the first man out of the race to win. It's not a race of who turns it in quicker.
But when it takes you 7, 8 days to get it done, when it should take you 1 day, there's something wrong. And Rick Caldwell knew it was wrong. He knew he asked for men or he asked for help. He couldn't get the job done. No one said, and no one gave it to him. So he just said, okay. And he let it ride. And I think that's wrong. And I think if you're elected to be in a position to make sure it works, and they're not giving you the stuff, scream it out, yell, make a big point of it. He didn't. He just rolled over and said, I'll live with it. And then,
I don't think he rolled over and said, I'll live with it.
Yes, he did.
Remember, you don't know him that well.
No, but I know the results.
Well, was there a challenge to what we turned in?
What do you mean? Was there a challenge?
The integrity of turning in the results.
Oh, you mean?
Remember, we had to do a recount. We had to do a recount because the county recorder's race was so close to each other.
Yeah.
Remember?
They had problems counting the late earlies. They didn't have enough personnel. They didn't.
Maybe everybody should go vote like we used to do in the old times and stop sending out these damn early ballots.
We have what we have, and Caldwell didn't prepare. That's it. He didn't prepare.
I'm not. No. Okay, well, I guess Caldwell didn't
I'm not saying that it goes against his integrity, but it didn't. He didn't push the issue, and we shouldn't have to live through that, and we shouldn't do it again.
So
and now the supervisors have it on their shoulders. They took it on.
So we'll see what happens, and hopefully they'll continue to do it and have integrity in it and turn it in. And you know what? Once again, like I said,
I don't know that integrity was ever a question, but I hope not.
Well, it's been made that at times.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
Okay. Well, listen, you have a great day, and bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And that was Clyde this morning. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. I think I covered the whole shutdown thing on the government. The government's shut down. It's been 4 days. It's partial. Probably haven't even felt it yet, but there is a problem that there are some paychecks that may not be given out on time, and that's military again. May got 14,000 air traffic controllers may be expected to work without pay again. They may miss a paycheck, and members of the military, which if it goes on long enough, they're saying it might be diverted today. I mean, it might be averted today and get done, all except for the Department of Homeland Security, which is going to be put off for 2 more weeks. I mean, they're going to. That's the plan. We'll see if it passes. That it would fully fund everything else and not Homeland Security, because the left doesn't like Homeland Security. They don't like ICE. They don't like ICE on the streets. They don't like arresting people that have been in the country illegal and breaking laws. They don't like it. for some reason, and they don't like the violence in Minneapolis, but they don't do anything to fix the problem other than scream it's ICE's fault. And they completely embrace and completely have supported the act out against ICE programs. In fact, they're part of it. The doxing and everything else, or some that have been on the record as part of it. And they're creating so much havoc up there, and then they point the finger at ICE. ICE is in every state. How many states are we having this kind of problem with? How many states do you see with the protests? You just see a few of them. You know, you got LA, Portland, and Minneapolis being the hot spot. So it really is ICE the problem? I don't think so. But that's been the battleground that they wanted to take on because they got the support of the local government. They got the support of the governor. They got support of the mayors. They got support of council and everything else that goes along with it, including the sheriff's office. They got support of all of them. Fight ICE is the problem, not the fraudsters, not the criminals. It's ICE that's trying to enforce the laws. But that's what we're living with right now. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, Russ, how you doing?
We're doing well, Gilbert. Good morning.
Well, we've been this conversation all day, all morning long.
Okay.
And,
well, I'm not done with the morning. I got more. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I know. I'm going to go have breakfast with my brother. But I understand what Clyde's saying. You know, did they decide to take that away from Dave or the county recorder before the elections or after the elections?
We knew before the election that if he won, it was going to be taken.
It was said before the election, correct?
If David won, yes.
Oh, if David won, and I understand what Clyde's saying, that the fact that David knew. You were there at that rally where Gary Snyder stood up on the stage and said he lived in San Luis.
I've known him to live in San Luis, yes.
I know, but he was telling everybody he lived out here in the foothills area.
Yeah, he did change his address at one time.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, he said that, but we both know he didn't live there. That was his mom's house.
Well.
What I'm thinking, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, we know that he claimed to live there at his mom's house. He filed the paperwork. He lives there at his mom's house.
Right.
I'm not going to call him. You know, I mean, I question it, but
we're talking about integrity.
Okay.
We're talking about integrity, and my thoughts why they took it away from Dave. The fact that Gary was doing that, saying that, and David was his supporter and his manager at one time.
To my knowledge, they took that away before that ever happened. But I mean, they decided to before that ever happened. But I don't know the time frame, and I don't know what was in their minds. I don't know.
Who the county supervisors?
County supervisors.
But the bottom line is maybe they thought, well, if Dave Laura knows what's going on with Gary Snyder, what is his integrity? What can he do?
Really?
I'm just thinking. Out loud why they did that. What was the reason?
I certainly haven't heard that. I
would
doubt that.
I'm not saying it happened. I'm saying maybe they were thinking that. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying why did they say?
I certainly don't. I certainly don't know one way or the other, but I'm not going to guess, and I would doubt it. I doubt that. I think David's reputation was enough. I mean, David is known as a guy that goes in and makes noise, a guy that goes in and turns tables over, a guy that goes in and rattles the cages. So
I know David Laura for a long, long, long time. I'm not going to. I'm just saying why they thought Dave would not be an honest person.
Well, we should ask them, but I really don't know. I don't know if honesty came into it, but I don't know.
You know, because you said, what you just said was they said that David Laura won, they were going to take that away from the county supervisor.
That's correct. They made that up. They made that known up front. Yes.
But you know, there's got to be a reason why.
Well, I'm sure.
I know. He butted heads with Tony Reyes. I was there a few times.
Sure.
So, and he was right when he was butting heads with Tony Reyes. David Laura was right.
Yeah. And that may have something to do with I've never taken the time to sit down and ask the county supervisor because it doesn't matter. It's going to happen no matter what.
It doesn't matter. It's over with.
It's over. It's done.
And people are still complaining. There's one person that keeps on complaining about that. It's over. Why waste our time? There's better things to talk about.
Yeah. But David doesn't complain about it. David's going to work. Man.
David's going to work, and he's doing things.
Yeah.
David's there to do stuff. David and I butted heads. But I tell you, I've been there with a couple of meetings in San Luis with him, and he's up. He's tells it like it is.
Oh yes, and
sometimes he's wrong.
Sometimes he's a little harsh.
Yeah, you and I've been in GOP meetings. He's standing up there causing ruckus, and he's way out of line.
That's why I like him. Yeah, he'll speak his mind. Sure.
Yeah, sometimes he likes to hear himself speak, but that's his personality. That's his personality.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just saying all the stuff about Wada County, and you're right. You're right about them wanting to take it away from him if he was elected.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would they have done that with Rick Caldwell?
I don't think so. I don't think that was the plan. But again, I haven't really sat down and interviewed these guys. I know Rick Caldwell. Rick Caldwell is a good guy. The difference between Rick Caldwell and David Laura, Rick Caldwell is quiet. Mm-hmm.
He's not aggressive. He's not aggressive at all. He did a good job. Wasn't he PD?
I think so. It was all, he had a solid reputation, but
very solid reputation.
Mm-hmm.
He's not boisterous. That's all.
Well,
that's all.
Sometimes we need a boisterous guy, and David's definitely that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where this is going, but all I'm saying, when you said they were going to take it away from him, that David Laura won, I gotta ask why.
Wow.
Why is that said?
I just never have. Yeah.
Enough of that conversation about David Laura and the county. It's over. They can say, let's see what happens. Let's see what Dave's going to do. You got to give the man a chance.
We already know. What he's going to do. He goes to work, man. He's got a lot to do.
Yeah. All right, Russ.
See you, buddy.
Have a good one.
Be good. Bye. Let me see. 7:31. Phone lines are open. 928-344-5258. Yuma Police Department was involved in a crash, not going to the scene of a crash. They were the crash. Poor guys. I have no idea what happened. It happened on 24th Street and Olivia Avenue. Was hit by a Jeep SUV. Not a good day for the person in the Jeep. I don't think so. No details on whose fault it was, but I got my speculations. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, I'm back, Russ.
Oh my gosh, twice in the same hour. What's going on, Carl?
Well, people are trying to kick David, and trying to associate him with Gary Snyder.
Well, he's friends with Snyder, and occasionally I'll kick David myself. That's fine. He can take it.
Yeah, I understand that, but the reason David Laura knows Gary Snyder so well, those were the two that went in San Luis and caught the ballot harvesters and started that little program called 2,000 Mules.
Well, they didn't. They added to it. It was already started.
Right.
It was done by Dinesh D'Souza, and they opened their eyes to some of the shenanigans going down in San Luis, and some of the ways that the NGOs were working with the program, and that was new. And 2,000 Mules ran with it. And I thought they did a great job of explaining it. Yep.
Oh, they did a beautiful job.
Yep.
And that's where David Lauren knows Gary Snyder. So that tells me that David Lauren knows how to get stuff done.
Oh, well, David was working on the voter fraud for 20 years.
Yeah. Yes.
And it was Gary Snyder that came along and kind of put another spin on it, another aspect, and did some more drilling down and helped him expose some of it. So it was a good partnership. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of good there, but now Gary Snyder feels he should run against Michelle Pena for the House seat, and that's not too legal. So.
Well, there's 2 seats available is the way he looks at it. There's 2 seats, but it's not running against, it's running with in his mind. And I know single shot is a preferable stance, and I agree with the single shot, but it's not going to happen.
Well, the single shot has to happen.
Well, it can't happen because there's 3 people running for that seat.
Yeah, but single shots you only vote for one.
Well, correct, but it's easy to have a single shot when there's only 1 on the ticket. But there's going to be 2 on the ticket, no matter what you do. There's going to be 2. Now you can make up your mind as a voter to single shot. That's a decision, but it was not a decision before because Pena ran alone because that is such a pro-Democrat area that no Republican really took the time to run because it was outnumbered, man, and Pena did it and won. So good for her.
Well, no, that's for her. That's the reason we're still red.
Good for us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Russ, have a beautiful day.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This crash with the Yuma Police Department. The officer and 2 more people suffered minor injuries. No one was taken to the hospital. So some bangs and bruises, maybe. And someone in a Jeep SUV. When you have an accident, you need to find a police officer. Well, there was one already there. Unfortunately, it may not fall in your favor if you're riding a Jeep, but it doesn't say. It says it doesn't say. The Yuma Police Department officer was traveling west on 24th Street and was hit by a Jeep on Olivia. So it would be a bad day if you're in a Jeep and you hit a police officer. It just adds insult to the problem. That I hit an officer. Yeah. Another thing here in Yuma, there was a grant approved for more border support in Yuma. Just a little blurb out there that on Monday, that was yesterday, the Yuma County Board of Supervisors had a grant approved for over $1 million. It was awarded to the Yuma County Sheriff's Office, Department of Public Safety. Those aren't uncommon. We get those occasionally to support what law enforcement does out on the border, and they need it because it adds a lot of work to our county sheriff's office, and and this money goes to help pay for that. Law enforcement's related to drug trafficking, human smuggling, illegal immigration, other crimes in Yuma County, because those crimes are processed quite often by our Yuma County supervisor, our Yuma County Sheriff's Office. Yuma County Supervisor District 3, Darren Simmons, says anything we can do to stop the flow of illegals coming across the drugs that come across also. That was $1 million grant. Kind of common. Those come across the desk occasionally become available. Phone lines open 928-344-5258. San Francisco, it's not been in the news a lot. In San Francisco, yeah, regular news. It's a pretty radical, liberal place that has its mix-ups and problems. Although it's been beat up a lot lately. I don't know how much worse it can get. San Francisco, though, said last Thursday that the city uncovered numerous secret drug and gambling dens that were masquerading as convenience stores. So I guess convenience stores up front, but there was a door inside or something that led to gambling dens and drug activity and other things. Sounds like something from the 20s, like the speakeasies or something. It was a downtown neighborhood, the Tenderloin district, which I guess has had a lot of activity of homeless. At least 9 of the dens were shut down or sued over the last 18 months. That's quite a bit. And that's according to City Attorney David Chu. The stores ranged in with illegal activities, including gambling operations, selling illegal drugs, possessing firearms, trafficking in stolen goods, violating the city's nighttime safety ordinance. I know that it's a curfew. They had a nighttime safety, which is a curfew. Like I said, they didn't want to use the word curfew, so they call it nighttime safety ordinance. It prohibits shops from operating during late hours to deter nighttime criminal activity. I didn't know that took place. So I guess there's no more 24-hour convenience stores like we have in Yuma that would shut those down because they say bad things happen. They must have known bad things happen at convenience stores. They shut them all down. No more 24 hours. I would think that San Francisco, big city like that, it would run on a 24-hour clock, but not when the city says, well, it's just best that we close it down because too many bad things happen at night. That's just kind of weird. These convenience stores were magnets for drug activities, and in some cases, the stores were selling illegal drugs themselves. They housed gambling operations with police seizing numerous slot machines, up to 11 from a single location. That's a big operation. You start bringing in high-dollar slot machines. They also seized the money that went along with it. Law enforcement repeatedly seized significant amounts of cash, including more than $17,000 from one store. Methamphetamine hidden beneath display shelves, cannabis vape cartridges, hundreds of glass pipes, and Brillo pads. I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm assuming they don't mean the ones that scrub pots and pans, but anyway. Brillo pads, items commonly used to smoke methamphetamine and crack cocaine. Loaded firearms, high-capacity Glock magazines, 2 additional pistols, lots of ammunition. The convenience stores were used to fence stolen goods. They seized merchandise with original price tags from major dealers like Walgreens. The Walgreens that they had so much theft, they closed a lot of the Walgreens and a lot of the drugstores, the CVS's, Targets. Yeah, they have your stuff with the original tags. Contraband included out-of-state cigarettes. Well, they're getting everything. 17 stolen iPhones on display for sale. I don't know what you do with a stolen iPhone. I don't know that you can have that done because I thought they all had like a digital fingerprint on them, but maybe not. The nighttime safety ordinance was a legislative measure that was passed in 2024 as a 2-year pilot program aimed at disrupting illegal activity. It sounds like it disrupted commerce and everything, not just illegal activity. Put a shutdown on the whole bit. They're now seeking to expand the curfews. Now they're calling it curfews to further combat crime in San Francisco's south of Market neighborhood. So they're going to expand it out of the Tenderloin area. They say it's working so well. It's working so well because the police shut down the operations. I don't even think you need to have the curfew anymore. Most businesses contribute positively to our neighborhoods, but a handful of late-night retail establishments like the ones we shut down attract significant criminal activity. Maybe they should call ICE and get ICE in there. They know how to kick a door in. The nighttime safety ordinance has been helpful in putting these stores on our radar and giving us additional tools to shut down problematic businesses. Supervisor Matt Dorsey said he hopes neighborhoods will eventually become a less welcoming environment for drug use, drug dealers, and all the drug-driven lawlessness, including illegal fencing operations that fuel rampant drug use. Well, you keep up with the curfews, you're going to shut down illegal activity and legal activity and commerce and everything else. I just think it's short-sighted. I mean, I understand it in emergency situations, but you let the place get out of control. You let the thugs run the streets, and then you wonder, why are the thugs running the streets? Because you guys let them. And then you complain when it works against you and you're not in your favor. But if you need to go anti-Trump, you can call the thugs back up. Let me see. Edward just sent me something I didn't know. He says the left's trying to organize a boycott of Disney after they picked Josh D'Amato, a white male, to take over to depart after Iger departs. So I guess the left doesn't like him. The left doesn't like Josh D'Amato, and here's why. He's white and straight, family man. So he has no business running Disney. That just doesn't make sense to me. That's just really a shame. If that's what's going on, I'd like to hear more explanation of that from the people wanting to boycott. That's interesting. That you can't run Disney if you're white, straight, and a family man, because Disney's gone woke. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Temperature is warmer than average for this time of year, and the next 2 days more so. 84 and sunny today, 58 and clear tonight, 87 with partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, northeast winds at 10 to 20 tomorrow, 64 tomorrow night.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber. That's right. Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And you know just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday, it's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
To be a part of Russ's show, call 928-344-5258. That's 928-344-5258.
This is as real as it gets. Get up, get kids up, feed the dog, feed the kids, out the door, work, pick up kids, dinner, bath, bed, repeat. You strive all day to make life better for them. So why not make life better for you? Get Strive-free checking at Avenir Financial. No frills, no fuss, no monthly fee. Open a Strive-free checking today at avenirfinancial.org. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3".
AM 560 KBLU. Phone lines are open. Let me see. 928-344-5258. Italy's rocked by anarchist-led riots. Over 100 police are injured. 108, actually. Security personnel were injured in violence. And I'll tell you a little bit about it, what they're doing. But there's something interesting in this article is that the author made some response to it that it's just like it is in the United States right now. That's so sad to hear. That's not wrong. You know, we've got anarchists running the streets, and particularly Minneapolis, that same types of groups and stuff, apparently. This is in Turin, Italy, the violent clashes. And Giorgia Meloni, the prime minister, strongly condemns the unrest and vow a firm response. And my comments like, well, okay, well, wow, strongly condemn. I don't know if that's a big deterrent, but reading into this article, they say that she's a strong leader, a strong conservative. That they're expecting some kind of action to squell this or whatever. The demonstrators were dressed in black, confronting police. The Antifa, it's all over type stuff, and a lot of footage. I saw some of it out there. The typical throwing. Objects being thrown, rock, stones, frozen water bottles, homemade incendiary devices, smoke bombs, rubbish bins that are drug out in the street and lit on fire, all those kind of normal stuff you see in Minneapolis. Police armored vehicles and street furniture, uprooted lampposts as weapons. So this one's kind of angry, and the reason behind it is they closed down a social center, a Katsuna. That's, I think, the name of it is a social center, but apparently it was being used mostly by the anarchists. It was their meeting place. They had been occupied by the far left activists for decades, according to experts. They said they've been in there, and Italy said enough. We're gonna take away this headquarters of anarchists and stuff, and then they just went nuts. Injured 108 security personnel. They want their building back. They got evicted. The U.S. and Europe analyst, Matthew Tiermand, he said it's not that dissimilar to what you see in the U.S. at times. See, that's the one that really hurt. Like, wow, it's just terrible. We have that kind of reputation, but it's earned. Think about Seattle or Cop City in Atlanta or Portland. It's the same old correlation of leftist groups, anarchists, pro-Palestinian groups, and random individuals coming together, which is kind of odd. I mean, the pro-Palestinians and the leftists and the anarchists all come together. You wouldn't think they have that much in common, the Marxists and pro-Palestinian, but apparently they do. Apparently they got that anger and hate. Your enemies, the enemy. If we both have the same enemies, then we're friends, I guess. And until the enemy's gone, and then we'll fight each other later. We'll do that. We'll do that later. I didn't get the phone call. It was a phone call, but I missed it. My apologies. It is open 928-344-5258. Maloney responded forcefully. And I just like that wording in these articles. That forcefully, like that means something. And maybe it will. Warning that violence against police and threats to public order would not be tolerated. And that was out there on X. He put it on X. Shared the photos from a hospital visit with injured officers and described the confrontations in stark terms. This morning, I went to the hospital in Turin to bring on behalf of Italy my solidarity of two of the officers who were injured in yesterday's clashes. Against them, hammers, Molotov cocktails, nail-filled paper bombs, stones launched with catapults. These guys are creative. Catapults, medieval invention, still effective maybe. Blunt objects of every kind, and jammers to prevent the police from communicating. So they're even high-tech, medieval and high-tech all at the same time. Just merge the technologies. She quoted one of the officers that said, "They're there to kill us. These are not protesters. These are organized criminals. This is attempted murder." I hope they do crack down. And maybe we're not strong enough on some of these. And strong as far as the Justice Department. I mean, I know there's been arrests, and I know there's been a lot of it going. And I don't think the ICE and Border Patrol have been able to capture a lot of the agitators because the scene is so chaotic. So many jamming of the air with whistles and bullhorns. I don't know if they're jamming digital or communications, but they're definitely causing so much confusion in a very dangerous situation. Cause that confusion can cause the loss of life, which it has. Dr. Lorenzo Medino, he's a program director on extremism at George Washington University, which his classes must be popular now because we've got to study what's going on. He says Torino is a particularly hotbed of anarchist and hardcore communist groups. But we've had this in many other places in Italy, and it happens throughout Europe. I think it's also happening in the United States. We've kind of become European. And he called it the recent liberation of Katsuna, the building occupied for decades by the far left. Again, it comes back to that, which he describes as a catalyst for a broader reaction. What you have here is a network of not just Italian, but European anarchists and communists with some pro-Palestinian groups. It's a fairly well-established coalition of groups, and they routinely engage in this sort of violence. Antifa is also part of this coalition. It's one of the umbrella movements in what happened in Torino. I wonder if some of them were chased over there because they didn't like ICE in Minneapolis, so they went over there to fight. They gotta get that done. And I think it's been very hard to catch the ringleaders, to catch the antagonists that get into the front, push, shove, hit a cop, and then run and disappear. I've recently seen where Border Patrol have had agents out there to chase those guys down, really run down the road to catch them, don't let them get away. They seem to be the one that eggs on the attacks and then run and let nature take its course. Medino attack on the officers of La Stampa, one of Italy's most prominent newspapers, which I guess they went and attacked a newspaper, which he described as a turning point for authorities. Storming the offices of a major newspaper crossed a red line. Really? Why is that? Why would a newspaper be red line versus the police headquarters or putting 108 security guys in the hospital? It's a newspaper that does it? No. Serious episodes of violence against police forces and to determine measures to quarantine public safety. Or guarantee public safety. Italy has a long history of hardcore leftist organizations. They're cut from the same cloth. Marxist movements are truly of their genesis. When a right-wing leader like Meloni comes to power, they get especially ginned up. And I like that comment because that's what's going on with Trump. I think they're ginned up in the United States. The Marxists, the leftists, the communists. They've got to attack, so they can say that the disruption in the community is all based on Trump. They've got to create so much havoc out there so they can just go back to their normal illegal activity and let it spread naturally. Right now, they've got to do all they can to discredit Trump, and they do that by causing violence in the street, blaming it on him. But according to this expert, violence is their modus operandi. I expect it will be quelled because Meloni is a tough figure. I think Trump's a tough figure. He hasn't quelled it yet. I think he's doing, I don't know of anything I would do differently at this point. Trump plays a game we don't always understand until it's over. But right now in Minneapolis, which is the epicenter currently, he made the agreement to pull back some Border Patrol. Now, the Border Patrol was there for backup for the ICE. You know, they have a different function normally protecting the border, but they're backing up the ICE because police officers were doing that. The local police were gone, and of course, the anarchists spooled up their numbers, brought them in from other states, from what I understand, and just to make them overwhelmingly a larger force and to be able to cause more mass confusion. We pulled them back, apparently, and I haven't read a lot about it because the mayor, the governor agreed to assist ICE, and I don't know what the capacity of assisting is, but it's been suggested they're going to hand over criminals out of prisons and start cooperating along those levels, enough to where some on the left are calling Waltz a traitor to the left, which puts him in a squeeze, but he's earned it. He put himself there. Patino, this expert on mayhem, says it's the same dynamics. A permanent presence of these networks that mobilize quickly and around symbolic causes. And that's what we've got in the United States. We've got these networks that are well organized. We're finding more and more. And, there's been word that they have been penetrated by some undercover people. They've got some of the communications now. Communications even with, the vice governor even and stuff. So the communications are going into political avenues as well, cooperating and at least communicating with some of the anarchists, which is just crazy. I mean, I don't know why, and maybe the investigations aren't done, but I don't know why there hasn't been arrest based on some of that. You would think some of the arrests would happen, that they would be able to get in there, make some arrests for some of these people that are instigating, supporting it, not reporting it, working against ICE. It's just anarchy coming from the elected officials, and it's just been amazing to watch and unacceptable at the same time. It's still in our country. I know many people say, "Well, pull out, let them just live with the trash that they make," which isn't fair to everybody. And if we let it go there, then they're just going to chase us out of every other place because they're mobile. They'll leave Minneapolis and follow follow them to wherever they go. With some exceptions, they probably won't try Florida. They probably won't, Texas. The states are going to stand up, and the states are going to back them up. DeSantis isn't going to let that happen in the state of Florida. He'll pull the National Guard, even, I would assume, because he's already stated he's not going to give in to that, and that's why they're in Minneapolis. Friendly government to the anarchist. We'll be right back. AM 560. It's 8 o'clock. You're about late for work.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that swamp, just like he said. He'll make America.
This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma. Republicans are confident. I'm Dave. Fox News.
The shutdown will end. The votes are there. Final package.
Congress got that package. The partial shutdown on day one. While it's funding in September gives weeks worth of Homeland Security as Democrats keep demanding a sort of arm called immigration enforcement in Minnesota out of control. The protested raids also led to two deadly shootings, and now Homeland Security will provide body cameras for all agents in Minneapolis. President Trump approves.
They tend to be good for law enforcement because people can't lie about what's happening. So it's generally speaking, I think 80% good for law enforcement.
Now, the president will focus again on stopping drug trafficking. Meanwhile, Colombia's leader Gustavo Petro at the White House, where Fox's Rich Jackson reports it is
a major reversal in this relationship, given that the two leaders have spent the last year throwing insults at one another. The Trump administration had even sanctioned Petro, but now things started to change when President Trump spoke with Petro on the phone about a month ago.
Somehow after the Venezuelan raid, he became very nice. He changed his attitude very much.
That raid 1 month ago put Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in jail in New York on terror and drug charges. The House has delayed a vote to hold former President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress as they now agree to sit down for questions in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation. And speaking of that, after Congress mandated more files be released,
the Justice Department is pulling thousands of documents and media related to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein because they may inadvertently contain victim identifying information, including nude photos showing faces of potential victims, as well as names and email addresses.
Fox's Lily Wu. The search continues in Arizona for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Nancy was 84 and believed kidnapped from her home Saturday night and perhaps harmed. America's listening to Fox News. This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our votes in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers that big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
From the News 11 Information Desk, I'm Gina Aguilera. Local kids have a new place to look forward to pretty soon. The long-awaited East Mesa Community Park is under construction in Yuma. The park is located on Avenue 50 and 36th Street. Among the most attractive features are 3-acre lake, a playground, a sensory play space, and a splash pad. With more than 20 acres in its first phase, the park promises to become a key hub for recreation for locals in Yuma. Plus, more border support is coming to Yuma County thanks to a grant approved this morning by the Yuma County Board of Supervisors. The grant of over $1 million report to the Yuma County Sheriff's Office by the Department of Public Safety. The money will be used to enhance law enforcement capabilities related to drug trafficking, human smuggling, illegal immigration, and other related crimes in Yuma County. The grant not only helps support our border, but also helps keep the community safe. Catch us on KBSAT on News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. for your local news, weather, and sports.
Contest rules, all giveaways and contests on 560 KBLU can be found on the website, kbluam.com.
There's a man in D.C. He's 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll bring that one, just like he said. He'll make America great again. So get on that Trump train, around the crowd with them. He'll stand up for you, and the rich fighting blue. Yeah, get on that Trump train, and say amen. He'll make America great again. Stand up for our flag.
AM 60. KBLU, Russ Clark with you. It's Tuesday morning, 8:05. Phone lines are open, 928-344-5258. Heard from a friend over at YPG that YPG is still up and running. Of course, we started talking about government shutdowns. YPG was hurt last time pretty hard. Something different about YPG, they shut down like the rest of the government. They have to. But what they shut down, it's mostly contract labor. So they don't get the back pay. In other words, the military will eventually be made whole when the government opens back up. They will pay, and I understand even paying with some interest or something. Their paychecks will get caught up. Not if you're contract. Yeah, if you're a contract employee, that is basically you get paid for the hours worked. I know a lot of them took vacation time. They took sick leave. Not available to everybody. Some left the job. I know people that quit and left YPG because it wasn't stable. And unfortunately, they take a lot of time and experience with them. It's kind of a unique job over there. I don't know exactly what they do all the time because they don't ever tell you, but they try to break things. Testing stuff that we don't even know exists sometimes. So they usually don't talk about their jobs in any specific details. But it's good they're still working so far, and hopefully the Congress sees fit to keep them working, and that we might know something today. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ.
Good morning, sir.
You know how the governor and the mayor of Minnesota handled George Floyd?
Right.
They should have been arrested. They should have been impeached, but they weren't.
They were reelected.
And, there's one thing about the Communist Democrat Party.
Yeah.
Think of all the people that they have put up to be for leadership in this country. I mean, Hillary Clinton, a murderer.
Well, alleged, but okay.
Hillary Clinton, a murderer.
Well,
Hillary Clinton was on Epstein Island with 3006 playing what's that movie? Hunter Games. Did you know that?
I did not. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I don't doubt that she was on there. I mean, Bill was on there multiple times.
So Hillary Clinton, a murderer.
Well,
Barack Obama lied on his financial aid forms. When he went to college, he put down that he was a foreign student. Isn't that a felony?
I don't know what it is, but Pocahontas did the same thing. Warren, although she was an American
that's
Indian.
a felony to lie on a federal financial aid form, and they're still in power. They're reelected, and they're reelected.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the guy from New York who was Huma Abedin's husband, put a picture of his penis on his cell phone, and he was allowed to run for office.
Well, yeah, you can always run. That doesn't mean you'll make it.
Okay, but really, name a Republican with an extreme bad background that the Republicans said, "You're our guy." You know, the Republic you know the best. Now you're not going to like this.
Okay, that's okay. I don't have to like everything.
Sure, but the best friend of the Democrat Party, the Communist Democrat Party, is the Republican Party. Nothing gets done in this country because we keep backing down to these rats. You know, you say, well, you know, we should be doing more in Minneapolis. You're damn right we should.
Sure.
We should be in there and close that down. You know, what did he do? He closed down Washington, D.C. for a lot less than what is going on in Minnesota.
Of course, we can take control. That's a federal land.
You know, but they're afraid to do it because they're afraid of the photo op. They're afraid of the sticks and stones that the Democrat Party will throw at them. They're afraid of the View. They're afraid of Stephanopoulos. That's the problem.
I don't know. They're all afraid of that, but they
you know,
they balance it. If they were afraid of it, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing now.
There's only a handful, and you can count them on one hand, of Republicans in the House and Senate that are worth the job.
Okay.
You can count them on one hand, and you could run this country on those five. Now, I remember when I was in the military, the enemy was the Soviet Union. It was called the Cold War.
Right.
Rush Limbaugh touted the border back then as the greatest symbol against the Soviet Union because the Mexican-American border was a symbol of freedom. We had an open border. And somehow that border is walled up.
Oh, wait a minute. Rush Limbaugh embraced an open border?
Oh my God! It was yes, he did. You can take that to the bank and look at his archives.
Okay.
And he embraced it because it was a symbol to the world that we have open borders on Canada and we have open borders on Mexico. It's a symbol of freedom. My God, you people have such a short memory.
No.
But the thing about it is, how did we end up with a wall? Because we did not enforce the laws of immigration that are already on the books. You wouldn't need that wall if you enforce the immigration laws. You wouldn't need that border if it wasn't for the Democrat Party needing votes because they're aborting all their babies and not growing families and having same-sex marriages that can't have babies. Just enforce the damn laws. Now we could say we both agree that the First Amendment says you can peacefully protest.
Okay.
Do you agree that those are peaceful protests?
What's peaceful?
The first time a car
in Minneapolis?
Yes.
No, of course not.
I'm being facetious.
Okay.
I mean, the first time a car is tipped over, the first time a garbage can is lit on fire, the first time you start impeding traffic, call in the cavalry.
All right. Well, I looked up Rush Limbaugh real quick while you were moving on, and everything I looked up says he wholeheartedly did not embrace open border with Mexico. Strongly
This was
opposed.
way before Ted Kennedy and the blue, what was it called, the Dreamers. This is way before that. Way before that. embraced the wall later on, but in the beginning, when it was hands across the freaking world, it was the Americans. Those two borders were a symbol against the Soviet Union as a symbol of freedom. Somebody call into this show, and somebody, you have elderly people in your audience. Somebody call into the show who have listened to Rush Limbaugh since 1980s.
Well,
and
send me anything on it. I mean, I'll see it. Send me anything on it, but I don't see it now. I mean, I did a search on AI for it to look for anything that Rush Limbaugh said in support of an open border, and all that came back was that he used it in 2012, an open border Friday, to slam the Obama administration policy.
This is way before. This is way before Obama. This is when Obama was still chucking spears in Uganda.
Oh.
So, I mean, okay, take it what it's for. But the thing about it was the border got out of control because we didn't enforce the laws. Thank you, weak Republicans.
We still don't.
The border got out of control because the Democrats made it appealing to come across that border for all the freebies.
Right.
Thank you, Republican Party, for not pushing.
Now, why do you keep saying thank you to the Republican Party? I don't know if the Republican got in line.
Because the Republican Party is the best friend the Democrats ever had.
Well,
the Republican Party is the reason why the Democrat Party is out of control. That's just hands down. And we're going to find out in the midterms because the Republican Party isn't smart enough to win the midterms.
Don't know yet. Time will tell.
The Republican Party proved it in the 7th district, which, by the way, Trump won the 7th district. Go figure.
Okay.
By your law of Democrat Republican 2-1, 5-1, whatever, Trump won the 7th district.
All right.
So
Trump surprises a lot of people.
What?
Trump has surprised a lot of people.
Because Trump is not the Republican Party.
Well, he is the Republican Party. He's the leader of the Republican Party right now.
He align with the party. Luckily for us, luckily for the R, he chose the R. Luckily. And people need to remember, before he got shot in the ear, the Republican Party did not want to primary him.
Of course not. They didn't want to primary Reagan.
So you're making my argument.
Well, because there's always that faction in any organization that's going to be against, the leadership is a fight. It always is. And I don't care what party you're in.
He got shot in the ear.
What happened to him after that?
No, I said, well, why did they support him? Because he got shot in the ear. As the Republican Party hypocrites?
I don't know that the shot in the ear was the catalyst. I mean, it gave a lot of attention. But he had been winning over. He'd been winning the party over ever since he didn't get reelected. He didn't quit. He stayed with it, and he kept being a voice for the Republican Party and the leader of the Republican Party.
He got shot in the ear in July, and they had the convention in Milwaukee several weeks later.
Right.
And then the Republican Party, hands down, took him on only because he got shot in the ear.
That's just wrong. He won the primaries.
Because nobody went against him in the primary.
Nobody. No, I think Kennedy did. I think there was quite a few that did.
Kennedy was an independent at the time.
That's right. Okay, but DeSantis went against him. There's quite a few powerful people that went against him. Doug out of North Dakota.
But anyway, everybody knows except a small group of Republicans that are still trying to hold on to power, which they don't have because they keep giving it up, that the Democrat Party exists because of the Republican Party. That chaos in Minnesota is because the Republican Party is afraid to act. And you know what everybody's afraid of? They're afraid of the second paragraph of the preamble. And if you would just embrace that, That in itself would scare the Democrats away because the Democrats are paper thin. They have the smallest. They are the smallest minority, and you and Hannity and O'Reilly and Beck keep on saying this country is divided, which implies 50-50. And it is not divided 50-50. The last time this country was divided 50-50 was Nixon Kennedy.
Don't know that, but you keep saying the Republicans are. I mean, if you're saying Republicans have a majority, then they're doing something right. If Republicans attracted Trump, then they're doing something right. The Trump, I mean, right now they got a majority in the House, a majority in the Senate. It's thin, but they've got it. They're doing something right.
You know, the first time they got the majority was during the second term of the midterm of of Clinton. And already you had buffoons, and I don't even know why they're elevating this buffoon Gingrich and that bald Rollo the Rich kid. What the hell is his name? I can't think of his name. But already back then, the complaint was the Republican Party proved that they were worthless because they had the majority in the House and Senate during Clinton, and they didn't get nothing done. And Rush Limbaugh used to bang this gong that you people just don't understand.
Yeah. Well, more people do understand now. Maybe it's not 100%. Maybe it's not enough to your liking. But I don't think the whole Republican Party is that brush that you're painting them with is exactly what everybody is.
Let me finish. So Rush Limbaugh was even pissed off. But he was saying, listen, people, they're afraid that they didn't have the numbers. They're afraid we don't have the numbers. He said, listen, at least force the bill and force the Democrats to vote against these things.
Sure.
And they never did it.
Well, they do.
The only
They do now. I guarantee you that goes on every day now.
Oh, yeah. Hunter Biden is still at large. The Clintons are still at large.
I know. You want to see arrest. I know.
No. Well, I want to see justice. You call that Trump getting back. I want to see justice.
I didn't call it anything other than arrest. An arrest would be appropriate, but it hasn't happened yet.
You know, I don't know why they aren't arrested.
I don't know.
Because they're afraid of the photo op.
I just think you're dead wrong.
Okay.
I just think so. I don't think that there's as much fear as you think there is.
Fear of what? I'm not afraid.
You said afraid of photo ops. I don't think.
That is. Yeah, I think so. I think the Republican Party is motivated by that fear, and the Democrat Party exploits it.
I don't think so. But okay. I mean, granted, they've backed down too often. I don't see that backing down happen a lot anymore. I don't, and I kind of like it.
You know, why is it that the faction of I'm going to say his name wrong, Homan?
Tom
and
Homan?
and I can't think of her name either. What's her name?
Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem. Why does that faction? Why are they bashing down walls? And Kash Patel and Bondi are worthless.
I don't consider them worthless, but okay.
Oh, they're borderline. If anything, they're borderline worthless.
I don't think that's the case. If they were, Trump would have already sent them home.
Sometimes Trump is. Sometimes he makes some really crappy decisions.
I think he was naive in the first term, but not this one. I think he's put loyalists in and people that will do his bidding.
He was the first person on that coward Twitter, Don Bongino's little 14-minute podcast, and just patting him on the back, which he doesn't deserve.
Well, he's on the inside. He may know more than us. I don't know.
You know, do you think he works better if he was still in that job or outside of the job?
I have no idea.
I think he would work better if he was inside the job because he was worthless.
Okay.
Well, just wait a second.
Yeah.
They had a board that was conducted by the great Eli Crane. Now that is our power. This state could be run just by Eli Crane alone.
Good man. I like Crane. I agree. But
Oh
what's your
man,
point?
he is great. He doesn't. And you want to know something? Nobody interrupts him when he talks. None of those cackling Democrats interrupt him when he talks. But he had a board about what the fall of the Secret Service after Trump was shot in the ear.
Okay.
And there were three people on that board. One was an expert, subject matter expert. The other one was the guy who was the owner of Blackwater. And the other one was the great Don Bongino.
Okay.
And of all those three people, Don Bongino occupied the conversation, pounding the table. If I would. And then he won the job. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything that he said he would. And now he's back in his little podcast, pounding the table. Well, I know people, and if he's back into that.
Okay, well, you don't have to like Don Bongino. That's fine.
I don't like Don Bongino.
You don't have to. Trump seems to. Trump has not said anything negative. He said positive and gives him best wishes. And Trump doesn't do that lightly. That's not his norm. If he doesn't like somebody, if somebody's not doing the job, he'll call it out.
No, I don't agree with you at all. I think he's a Republican clown.
Trump?
No, not at all.
Bongino. Well,
yeah.
I've got to run, my friend, but we're going to disagree on some of that.
All right, Russ. Have a good day.
You be good. Bye-bye. I'll be right back. AM 560.
Temperatures warmer than average for this time of year, and the next 2 days more so. 84 and sunny today, 58 and clear tonight, 87 with partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, northeast winds at 10 to 20 tomorrow, 64 tomorrow night.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And you know just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday. It's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
Listen to KBLU from 8 to 9 every Monday morning to Life, Death, and the Law. Sean Garner and Adam Hansen discuss estate planning options. Learn how you can plan your estate using a will or trust to protect your family and secure your legacy. That's Life, Death, and the Law every Monday, 8 to 9 a.m. on 560 KBLU.
There's a man in D.C. He spent 6 foot.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. It's 8:27. Phone lines are open 928-344-5258. Christy Nome has ordered immediate body cameras deployed for Minneapolis federal officers. I think it's good. I'm a fan of the cameras on sheriff's, police forces. I think it has done more help. I know there's been a lot of people that have advocated for them because the poor victims of police brutality, will get their day now because we'll show all the negative from the cops. Well, it has not been the case, I don't think. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This previous caller was so full of the anal discharge of the male bovine. I'm serious.
Yeah, you know what?
If you look up Rush Limbaugh, spoke up against open borders from the very first. You can look it up. It's easy to look up what his views were, and he was terribly opposed to open borders. He said, "A country without borders is not a country," and that's just one of the things he said. And of course, I agree with him on that and a good number of other things. All he wants to do is sit there and spout off against whatever.
Right.
He has his fact. He has no facts. He just makes up facts as he goes along. He attributes things to people that they never did or said. So he's one of. I know you don't like to hang up on people, and
I don't.
But there's times when it is appropriate.
Well, Mel, and I appreciate you calling. I'd leave him on because there's a lot of people out there that are Republican that hate, that just dislike what the Democrats are doing in the country, that spend their time just yelling about Republicans that aren't doing enough, Republicans that don't do what they want, Republicans that don't finish things, Republicans that don't do this. Why do they spend their time tearing down Republicans when their real, in their minds, their real destination is to expose the Democrats? They don't do that. They want to put down that the Democrats are terrible. I mean, Republicans are terrible. Republicans are terrible. People out there like that, and it hurts us because then they don't go vote.
Yes, exactly. They say, well, what's the sense? There's no one that's on our side really. Is what they're saying.
Yeah,
and that's just not true. So people like this last caller are really dangerous. They are more dangerous to the Republican Party than most of the Democrats.
Right, they create apathy.
Because they are a cancer. They are a cancer within the party that eats away at the fabric of the party.
Yeah, but at the same time, they exist, and I do want to leave them on. I mean, I do, so people understand what we're not only battling the policies of the Democrats, but internal battles are much harder. When I go to the state committee, and you've been to the state committee before, and sometimes that is so difficult because there's so many people that think they have all the right answers and everybody else is wrong, and you get so many opposing viewpoints, nobody listens anymore.
And when you have people like this guy, he just he's just a cancer that's constantly eroding away at the guts. At the guts of the party, he ought to, number one, before he starts making all of his statements, he ought to really look up, do some research, and find out who really did say what, and how they did react to what was going on around them, instead of just spouting off a whole bunch of just plain lies.
Yeah. Well, with AI, it's pretty simple, and I texted in right after he said it. I texted in my phone. Couldn't come up with a single thing other than there was a parody by Trump when Obama was in, that it was Open Border Friday or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
But he did a lot of parodies.
Yes. But if you go and look up, you can go online and look up Rush Limbaugh's. I don't remember exactly how I did it, but I said, views on open borders,
right,
on the border, and it tells you he was opposed to open borders right from the very first. He made no bones about it, how it was dangerous, how it was harming the country, and how it was, it was just not. He was not in favor. That's for damn sure. And this guy just going on and spouting off and about to him. There is no Republican that is worth his salt. I haven't heard him say anything good about anyone else, other than he says about the president. And the president, I agree with almost all that the president does. There's some things that I don't agree with, but that's. And I'm glad that he's the one in the White House and not someone else right now. But the fact is, he is not perfect either.
No, but I like that he can react quickly.
He does.
When he makes a mistake, he doesn't live with it. He fixes it, and I like that. That's a business guy.
Well, exactly. That's why the things that he does that irritate me really have nothing to do with what he is doing on the job.
Yeah.
It has more to do with the rhetoric and some of the things like that I think we can do without. But he's doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. And if he thought Bongino was doing a bad job, he would not be bashful about saying it.
No, he would not have said that he's sorry he was moving on. Or
no,
he was he wished him the best, good luck, and Godspeed. He would have said goodbye and God ring. That's what he would have said.
Yeah, so, I think he would.
He didn't hold back. what was on his mind, he spoke what was on his mind. And that's, that can sometimes get you into trouble. But then again, it's better to know. I'd rather know for sure what he's thinking about doing and sit there and wonder about, can I really trust this guy?
I do trust him, and that doesn't mean I don't look at everything, objectively and take a look. I do. But something that surprised me that he's done in his first year, the construction projects. First, he redid the White House, which did it so fast, I don't think most people noticed. He redid all the plumbing and the wiring in the White House. Then he tore down that was it the East Wing to put up the ballroom, which was it's going to be 90,000 square, and it's already heavily under construction. And then it's the Arc that's going to be put up between near the Lincoln Memorial in Arlington, in that area. And now I closed down the Kennedy Center to redo it. I mean, this guy is a real builder.
Well, you know what? There's one thing that I'm opposed to him, and that was he should not have allowed them to put Trump and on that Kennedy Center.
I don't think it's going to last.
Well, no. The thing is, the glory yourself is not glory. You know what I mean? It's like when someone gets an award, right? When a soldier gets a medal for something, he gets that because his peers or his superiors feel that he has done something more than would be expected, right? It's given to them by someone else. No soldier gives himself a medal. Okay.
True.
And by putting his name on that thing like that, I think he should not have allowed that to happen. He should not.
He could have stopped it, probably. I'm sure he could have.
Could have stopped it.
Yeah.
And in time, if the people, if a country feels that he has done a job that merits making a change like that,
yeah,
it would have happened. See, and it's little things like that that give his opponents a whole lot of ammunition.
Yeah.
It's not that he hasn't done anything wrong, but he could have done something right by saying, "Don't do that, boys." Let's let time decide what's going to happen. You can't patting yourself on the back is not really an award. The people aren't thanking you for it. You're thanking you for it. That's not what he should be doing.
I've got a comment here from a listener. It said, "Never heard any local host call out Trump on anything. They just go along." I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know that I just go along. I mean, I haven't found a lot of fault. I mean, there's some things he's done that I wouldn't do or wouldn't think of, but I don't know of anything I've ever condemned him for.
Well,
I'm trying to think of anything.
I guess you could say that I'm condemning him for that, but I mean, it's just to me, it's just something that isn't done. It shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It is in poor taste, I guess. It's a good way of any to put it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyway, there it is. That's a 2 cents from Kansas.
Well, I always appreciate 2 cents from Kansas, Mel.
We have beautiful weather. It's still chilly, but it's beautiful, beautiful outside.
But you guys got hit by the cold really hard, didn't you?
Oh man, I'm going to tell you, I had a couple of days here where if to warm things up, I put them in my icebox.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's just, we're 4 degrees, 5 degrees in the morning. You don't really want to go. You don't even want to put the trash out, but you just have to.
Yeah.
But right now, and in fact, tomorrow it's supposed to get up into the 50s.
Wow, that's a big improvement.
Which is a downright balmy. But I'll tell you, this is really this is a wonderful area. Where I live, I'm within 15 minutes of anything, and I mean the best healthcare, any shopping. My son lives like 5 minutes away from here. Things are just. I'm not sorry I moved, but I do miss you, man. I miss a lot of the people back there. But
wow.
That's the way it is.
People still ask about you, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You guys, you take care. God bless.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, this caller said Mel should co-host the Wednesday edition. Very reasonable. And he used to. He used to be on 5 days a week with me, which was joy. I enjoy it, but I also enjoy Dean. Dean's a smart guy, and I enjoy having him on. But if he were here, he would definitely be on with me. He enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed having him on. The question about never heard call out Trump on anything. I'm gonna have to think about that and think of something. I generally, when he makes decisions, even if I'm scratching my head, I was like, we'll see how it goes or something. I don't know that I've been forceful about, like I have with Biden. When Biden opens up the border, I'm like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Very strong against, but that's an ideology that I'm against of open border. That's an ideology of hiding things, and he did. By hiding things, I mean the planes at night, not sending planes to foreign countries to bring people in with the lights off and stuff so that we couldn't see what was going on. Lack of transparency, the lies with Mayorkas constantly. Of course, I was constantly talking about the things that were horrible. I don't know if I had to pick out something that's horrible right now that I'd point out. Do I think he's on too much on foreign policy versus local? I've mentioned those things and that he needs to come back home, but I don't, because the voters are demanding and I think he's doing that, but I don't know that I have anything that I would jump up and down and say there hasn't been. I don't know that it's been going along so much as I agree with the direction and agree with the things that he wants done, and I give him his due when he hires somebody like Bongino. He knows more about that than I do, and I'm always curious. And I did like Bongino, but I didn't see as much action as I wanted to from him or Kash Patel. But I don't know how long that takes. But I'm not ready to condemn him. I think Trump will do that if they hit a wall that they're not moving in the direction that he sees fit. We see. I talk about Kristi Noem bringing in cameras for the Homeland Security. Noem put on X. I just spoke with Tom Homan, ICE director. Effective immediately, we're deploying body cameras to every officer in the field in Minneapolis. And I guess that's the start, is in Minneapolis. As funding is available, the body camera program will be expanded nationwide. We will rapidly acquire and deploy body cameras to DHS law enforcement across the country, the most transparent administration in American history. Thank you, President Donald Trump. Make America safe again. And I think that came from Trump. I say Trump said Monday that the decision to deploy body cameras in Minneapolis was made by Noem. And he deferred to her judgment. He said the devices are generally beneficial for law enforcement because they document encounters. Body cameras are 80% good for enforcement. I don't know if that's something he just pulled out of thin air or if that's an actual number, but I would think it would be that or higher. I think it did a lot to prevent cops that are being accused of bad behavior. Once they find out they have a body camera, they look pretty stupid. He said, arguing they can prevent false claims about what happens during encounters, and said he was comfortable with a rollout if Noem wanted to move forward. So that's good. Apparently, the fatal shooting of Alex Pretty came in sharp focus by Customs and Border Protection officers who were wearing body cameras. Which helped clear that up pretty quickly about what really happened and what really went on. We know exactly what happened and what went on, and the cameras from Preddy when he was fighting with ICE a week before, kicking the taillights out of a car, throwing things, attacking officers, and all of that. And then the Renee Good was not wearing cameras. But the cop that was injured, the cop that was hit by the car, he was actually holding his personal phone, his cell phone. I don't know if it was his personal or a company phone, but he was holding that up, videotaping. He stood in front of the car to videotape the interaction between her and the other officer. They had nothing to hide. They wanted to, I guess they were recording that because they don't have a body camera. And that one came in very helpful. It came in very helpful, showing his viewpoint of everything. Body camera would have been a lot easier. He could have freed up that one hand. Maybe he would have gotten out of the way. But it showed gaps when they should have had none. So I think it's good they're getting them. Matt Whitaker. He's the U.S. ambassador to NATO. I like Matt Whitaker. He's been on the show a couple times. He was on the show a couple times, I think, during the campaign. He was actually working with the Trump campaign, and he came on the show a couple times. And he, of course, was a attorney general when Barr stepped down. He filled in on that. Smart guy. I like him. He said President Donald Trump has made clear demands of Iran. I guess Iran's, as you know, I mean, maybe you don't know, there's still a lot of saber rattling going on over there. Iran made some agreements to do things, and now they seem to have been backing off. One of those things is killing civilians. Yeah, they seem to be killing a lot of civilians to gain control and make sure there's no rebellion. I read at one time it was like 30,000 or something. I mean, these are not small numbers. He said, what will happen next will be up to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This is still Matt Whitaker talking. As an American naval fleet patrols the region, and there's like 10 or 9 battleships, I think, and 1 aircraft carrier in the area, probably then some other, I'm sure it goes along with it. But they're surrounded with these fleet, and there's enough firepower in that fleet to shut down anything that Iran has. Matt said, Trump won't wait forever for his ultimatum to be met. The president has been very clear on Iran. You can't have a nuclear weapon, and you need to stop killing protesters in your streets. That's a pretty clear red line. He said the armada that is setting off the coast of Iran is both a show of strength and an off-ramp. The Iranians could de-escalate very easily and simply by abandoning nuclear ambitions and halting the suppression of protesters. We'll see. The ball's in their court. But President Trump is not going to be forever patient on this. And that's a tough deal for Khamenei. I mean, I think the continued push for nuclear is going to prove to be very, very bad if that's what he's doing. And of course, I'm sure they have intelligence, and they're seeing that maybe the old locations being rebuilt, or they're having something done that's causing concern that they haven't given up on the program. I think he verbally said something about it to the Ayatollah. The killing of protesters, he's done that in order to stop rebellion, in order to stop that stuff. And I don't know that he can do it through, decorum and compromise and talking about things. I think he's in a pickle, in that the rebellion could overthrow the government if he doesn't find a way to appease it. And if they're willing to protest knowing that they could be killed, I mean, that's pretty aggressive attitude. I don't know if he said, okay, keep protesting, that condition may grow out of control for him. So I'm sure he's looking and weighing all those options. I either face the armada from the United States. Now, if Biden was in or Obama was in, it wouldn't be a big deal, because Obama could draw red lines all day and they're not going to do what Trump does. Don't get me wrong, Obama did a lot of bombings. I mean, he did a lot of those, to go after some individuals and going after some stuff, but he used that a lot, but not the theatrics of Trump, where, he took out the nuclear power plant and stuff. I mean, Trump has got street cred right now. They know that he's a serious negotiator. and he's got hardware to back up, and as he did Maduro and Iran, that's tough. Trump said on Saturday that Trump is negotiating seriously with the U.S. and that he hopes an acceptable deal can be brokered. On Sunday, the Speaker of Iran's parliament said the Islamic Republic now considers all European Union militaries to be terrorist groups because the bloc declared the country's parliamentary Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps a terror group over its crackdown on nationwide protests. So their parliament said that European Union militaries are terrorist groups because the European Union has said they're terrorists. I guess that's where the name calling goes. I think their European Union militaries and Trump are right. I think Islamic Republic has proven that they operate in terror. That's what they do. That's why they support terror groups and killing their own people. The actions create concern that Iran might strike U.S. NATO allies should America attack again. Well, I don't think you're going to let them have their nuclear weapons. So, I mean, there's a decision to be made. Following Operation Midnight Hammer, which targeted Iran nuclear facilities in June, well, they didn't attack NATO allies after that. They didn't. I think their airspace has already been cleared of anything that's dangerous to our aircraft. So they can fly over. They had well over 100 planes fly over. Or was that Venezuela? They had 100 planes. Yeah, they had over 100 planes there. I don't know how many they had, but they had quite a few, and in fact, quite a few B-2 bombers that flew in, flew out. And that was after Israel took out a lot of their radar systems that flew in and didn't lose a single plane doing it. So Iran's vulnerable to Western technologies and the Chinese hardware, including the satellites and the anti-aircraft, didn't prove to be a big threat. Neither did the Russians' top anti-aircraft and missiles prove to be a threat. They just don't have the technology advancement the United States has yet. I mean, China keeps trying. I know they keep trying because they got so many spies. In fact, I saw a documentary on an aircraft that China has put up. I forget the name of it. It's out there. You can see a lot of it. It looks exactly like the F-35, and mostly because they got a hold of the plans for the F-35, a lot of the plans, and so they built this thing. They built the F-35. It looks exactly like the F-35. You can't tell their silhouette apart. Some minor changes here and there, but they had AI look at it, do all the measurements and all that, and it's so close in all the measurements, there's no way it can't be of some kind of copy. But they don't have the technology inside. They don't have the engines. They can't, even though it's supposed to be more stealth and not seen, they're using different engines that are not anything like the engines we have that have cooled down the exhaust and don't have as bright of exhaust and not as much heat signature, to where they might as well send flare guns up. So according to the documentary I read, that they might as well send flare guns up that were here. So they don't have the technology inside the cockpit. Apparently, they don't have the technology in there, but they got a plane that looks exactly like it. Whether or not it can perform, somehow they doubt that. They're not looking for that to be stealthy. They're not looking for that to be able to perform like the F-35, even though they did get their hands on that, and it's already caused. I don't remember the gentleman that there was I think it was a Chinese guy that was working as a contractor for the military that had access to a lot of blueprints, and he was able to download them in small segments so it didn't alert anybody that they were downloading it. And over a matter of like a year or two, was able to put it together to where they could send that to China. And this is And we're still friends with the nation at some point when we're trading partners and all that stuff. But we sent all that to China, and China built an airframe exactly like the F-35. They had the plan. I guess they just don't have the engine technology and the cockpit technology yet. I'm sure they're trying to infiltrate those those agencies also. But with an open border, remember all the reports we got about the different nationalities we're coming across. Apparently, the influx of Chinese during Biden was percentage-wise stupid off the charts as far as the number of Chinese that were coming over. So there's a lot of Chinese in the country that came in because of the Biden lax border policy. Who knows how many are actual spies? Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, Russ, you get tired of talking to that guy, but wait.
Sometimes.
Well, I sound like that guy when they hear on TV. But wait, I got a better offer. Buy one more, you get one more free.
One more what?
That commercial that comes out, but wait.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Do more commercials.
Get one more free.
All right. I could do that.
He was really nailing you.
Oh, really? I mean, that's his prerogative. He can do that if he wants.
I know. I understand.
We just have a disagreement on it. He's very negative on a lot of things Republicans are doing because to him it's probably not enough. It should have been faster. It would have been better if he were running it. But that's easy to say.
Yeah. Well, have a nice day.
Thank you, buddy. You take care. Bye bye. Yeah, it's always easy to armchair quarterback. And not that we need to just roll over and say whatever you say, sir, it's okay. We need to pay attention too. We do. And at times there's Republican actions that frustrate me. But you can't, and I don't know who mentioned this before, but to go after Republicans that I agree with 95% of the time, really, why would I waste that time going after that? And thinking that that's enough to impeach, do away with him, fight him, and talk negatively. It's not going to get us anywhere. Sometimes we have to listen to some of Reagan's comments too. That not speaking ill of fellow Republicans. I don't know that's going to be 100%. There's going to be times sometimes you get a real wacko in there that you got to do something about. But it's become too easy to be the hatred and too easy to be finger pointing and saying, well, yeah, you did some great things. It's never enough. And I don't know who could fill that role then. Who do you have? Who do you have that could fill the role? Russia jet just touched down in Cuba. I wouldn't think that would be a big deal, but apparently it is. It's a Russian cargo plane. They're used to transport military equipment, and it landed in an airfield in Havana on Sunday night. And the U.S. has sanctioned these aircraft. It's the IL-76 operated by Russia's state-linked airline, Avicon. Zetotrans was track landing in the airfield in the Cuban military installation roughly 30 miles south of Havana. They've been tracking it. They tracked it all the way from St. Petersburg in Russia to Mauritania, Africa, Dominican Republic. Each landing would require approval from host governments, offering a window into which countries are continuing to permit Russia military-linked aviation actively, despite Western sanctions. So I guess the way Western sanctions include don't allow these guys to land, which you can ignore it, but I imagine there's a price to pay with other aid that the Western countries give or whatever. But I guess there is. But it's in Cuba. And we know Cuba is not a favored nation of the United States. It was under Biden. Biden dropped a lot of the stuff, but it's back now. The Cuban president finds himself under mounting pressure from President Donald Trump, who has sharply intensified U.S. policy towards Havana in recent weeks, including taking over Venezuela. He didn't take it over, I guess. That's the wrong term. But he definitely took out the leader and then threatened the leader, his Vice President Rodriguez, that we've got the ability to take you out too. Don't cross these lines. Let us help you, and we'll help you reinvigorate your economy. Sounds like a good offer. we'll see if they can. We'll see if they can get that done. But right now, this plane landed in Cuba. No understanding of what it has on it. But they're talking to people in Cuba to see, what's happening. They're still trying to make a deal with Cuba of some kind. They think the current regime, though, is nothing worth dealing with, and but they'd like to. And it used to be Cuba was a friend. Cuba was a vacation spot. Cuba was supported by a lot of gangsters out of Vegas, a lot of gambling casinos and other things. I understand it's quite the hot spot. Not so much anymore. I'll be back tomorrow. AM 560 KBLU.
There's a man.